Buckle away on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT up north to the Northern and Upper East and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from City FM.
And it's proudly sponsored by Holland Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, Didi Shito, Goyle, Minimi Achumo, and Admi Granite Paste. And it's supported by Nana's Rice.
Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Good morning
and welcome to your favorite Sunday morning TV show. We call this Sunday Breakfast right here on Channel 1 TV. My name is Jude Duncan.
And I am Ino Safo. Find me across all social media platforms at Ino_S.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm still in the mood. Actually, no.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Just say, no, you are taking it to a higher level.
I'm telling you,
this morning I saw a picture of some of their ministers, Minister of Tourism and I think Minister of Technology and Science, wearing the full.
In Zambia, you mean?
Yeah, in Zambia, I mean.
Yeah.
So I guess they're gradually coming to accept that.
No, Charlie, that's whether they accept or not, we did inside.
They mess with the wrong country.
I'm telling you, I have no idea. No, the truth also is I wake up at the iron the thing, so wait. So
you're like, Charlie, let's go.
No, but we did. Oh no. Yeah, man, with my yesterday on Friday when I wore my cap on set when I had to fall, someone sent a message and said that the way I'd worn it, it meant that I was a chief and I had lots of followers.
Oh, you had held it up?
I don't even know how it was, but apparently
each way has. So if it's high up, then I guess you probably was high up.
So
to the left, I think you're a brave warrior. To the right, means something. To the back,
I'm not a warrior to be brave. So I had to issue a disclaimer. That's Charlie, the TV play. You don't be saying anything. Anyway, guys, you're welcome to Sunday Breakfast. As I rock my regal blouse. It's fine. They should call it whatever they want to call it. We love it here and we adorn it all the time.
Definitely. It's a packed show,
absolutely,
per usual.
Absolutely.
We have a bit of health. We're going to talk about what happened yesterday at Ayawaso West.
In Sempi.
Wow. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because it happened.
Yeah.
Kosiani Meko can sway voters.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
To be fair, if they bring Kosiani Meko here.
I love Kosiani Meko.
But telling me.
So I say Kosiani Meko will change your mind.
It won't change my mind, but I will eat.
Oh, eat, they will eat.
Yeah,
I mean, free Kosiani Meko, they will hide them.
I don't.
I say,
oh, Baba Jamal, aka BJ.
Iduo.
Why say name be BJ? No.
All right. Talking about Kosiani Meko, which is a favorite of most Ghanaians, we are asking you to eat Ghana rice.
It's very important.
Because it is good for you, and it is good for the farmer who's producing that rice, so that they'll also get something in their pocket to support their families.
The Ghana rice, it goes with Kosiani Meko rough. Charlie. You know, viewers, you want to try
I made one. Yeah.
I didn't come.
And pepper, to come from, because you said you had planned your day, Dada.
No, please. You are not being fair. Yesterday,
your day.
Yesterday particularly.
Yes, I remember.
So like how?
I remember.
No, it's okay,
but because you said you had planned your day, I didn't want to disturb you.
It's okay. It's okay. How did your Kosiani Meko go?
How do your my Anwamoni Kosiani Meko go? Oh, it was amazing.
Were you inspired by the happenings from Ayawaso? Is it north?
West, east.
Were you inspired by the happenings
there?
No.
I was just hungry, and it was a quick meal to make. Yes, because I was dilly-dallying. What should I eat? What should I cook? So the Angwamu came in record time, and like 30 minutes you're done. So Angwamu ni Kusiani Meko.
It's for it.
Yeah, so eat your Ghana rice, because Chalet, it was nice.
You know, Baba Jamal is an interesting character.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get to the happenings.
Before we do, let me do a quick sponsors. Agri-Impact Limited, MasterCard Foundation, and the 24-Hour Economy Accelerated Export Development. They are partnering with City 97.3 FM as well as Channel 1 TV to bring you the Support Ghana Rice with your fork and your spoon, and enjoy it, so that a farmer somewhere can also get something for him and his family as well. So don't forget to eat Ghana, build Ghana, and enjoy made in Ghana rice. No plastics, no nothing. Great meals that you can make with it, from your jollof to your angwamo to your rice water. One of my favorites, rice water. And we can do jollof wars with our partners in Nigeria, our brothers and sisters in Nigeria, with our Ghana rice. So don't forget to eat Ghana rice, and let's build Ghana together while supporting our local farmers. So again, it's in partnership with Agri-Impact, MasterCard Foundation, and the 24-Hour Economy. Taste Ghana.
I'm being reliably informed by some reporter friends who covered the election yesterday that rice was shared. Right, so...
Oh, rice was also shared?
Yeah.
I thought I saw TV and Kosiani Meko rice.
Yeah, they say sanitary pads can be shared, Charlie. So
and then it was a galore.
I'm telling you, there's a thing you always say about what are toys in Parliament.
Yeah.
Right now,
you're beginning to question what is there that
absolutely.
You would... Is that sell your dignity? Is that what that's what I choose to call it? Because the law states, do not entice voters.
You say support.
There's pot.
I was going to say that, at the very least, next time they are sharing rice, they should share Ghana rice. The things they don't share.
You won't tell them to stop. You're telling them to share.
Oh, don't share. It didn't start today. It didn't start yesterday.
True.
So they'll share. So when they share they should share Ghana rice, so that at least we can support local farmers.
So are we saying that enticing voters and that one, it won't stop?
It will take very drastic measures I'm not sure are ready for.
We? Who is the we?
The entire populace. And you see, sometimes, the other thing is that the leaders are a reflection of the people they seek to lead, right? He's giving, people are also taking. Right, so what if you ever think we'll get to a point where people will say, okay, we are refusing this. We actually want you to come and serve and do the work required of you as a member of parliament, and not try to win our votes through. People will keep receiving. In fact, in some instances, you have the delegates demanding for it.
Or if all the contenders decide that we'll not give votes based on
it's
so then that questions our integrity as human beings as well.
Exactly. And also I think it brings to bear again issues around what our values are, right, as a people. and of course, civic education. It's very important. What are we trying to get the populace to understand? Have we explained to them the responsibilities of a member of parliament in the first place? We don't understand what it means to have representation in the people's house. You know, what informs their decisions, all of that. So I think maybe we'll get there as a people, but it will take. But I don't know, have we forgotten Akwetia by-election? Have we forgotten even the most recent one? That was Akwetia, the one before as well. You know, so it is there.
So all by-elections,
and
so
even,
far as we remember.
And even the primaries.
Yeah.
Right, the actual primaries, both presidential, parliament. We see what happens there.
Now we have a long way to go because this is sad.
Yes. So the point is, we need everybody on deck, right? Particularly the NCC. They say they've been doing some work, but clearly a lot more needs to be done. You know, so like I was saying, whilst we are sharing, they should just share Ghana rice. That's my headache. I'm sure we'll come to issues around Ayawaso East and the ensuing statement from the presidency. I would love to hear your thoughts on that particular one as well. Can we delve into the big headline stories?
Yes. I'm on channel1newsonline.com. Channel1newsonline.com. Some of the stories you'll find on our portal. Vote buying skewed Ayawaso East NDC poll. That's according to Musa Dankwa.
Oh, Musa. Charlie, oh, mama.
Vote buying skewed.
A very good morning to Musa Dankwa.
Good morning.
We will not tolerate any slander. You continue.
Okay, Mahama recalls Baba Jamal as High Commissioner over vote inducement claims. And my doors are open, Baba Jamal tells rivals after Ayawaso East win. Baba Jamal wins NDC Ayawaso East primary. NDC launches probe into bribery claims at Ayawaso East primary. Other stories you'll find: Kaswa traders to face legal action for skipping cleanup exercise. And Ayawaso East NDC delegates, Baba Jamal's TV gifts won't influence our vote. If you come down to the trending stories, from habit to diagnosis, how clay consumption led to a discovery called Pika. Okay. Respect the cloth, a Ghanaian response on Fugu culture and Africa. From blouse to global pride, how Mahama's Fugu took Ghana to the world. Ghana-Zambia strengthened ties with 10 strategic MOUs, and more than a smock, what Mahama's Fugu reveals about African identity. Jude?
Yes, let me take you to citynewsroom.com. Big headline stories, not too different from yours. Mahama recalls Baba Jamal from Nigeria as High Commissioner. Also here, Baba Jamal thanks Allah, calls for unity in Ayawaso East to win. Moving on to some other stories. 2 injured as rival chiefs supporters clash over gravel pit in Kwandai. Baba Jamal wins Ayawaso East NDC primary. Ayawaso East NDC primary. NDC condemns bribery allegations, launches probe. Moving on, the Greater Accra chairman of the NDC, Ashimo, has been speaking. He says preventing vote buying during primaries difficult. Like we were saying, NACOC destroys drugs worth 2.5 million Ghana cedis in Northern region. The president has directed the Minerals Commission to issue a mining license to UMAT. We'll vote based on competence, not gifts. Ayawaso East NDC delegates. Baba Jamal in the news again, as Ayawaso East results will determine Musa Dankwa's credibility, and he said that proud to pose the end of polls. The Accra Metropolitan Assembly is in the news, right? A lot is happening at that end too. Story here: AMA to increase street sweepers' pay from 400 cedis to 800 cedis. US wants Russia to some foreign fronts. US wants Russia and Ukraine to end war by June, and that's coming in from Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. Still on the AMA, there are plans to deploy tricycles for waste collection in Accra's Central Business District. Of course, Presidential Advisor on Agriculture, Dr. Pito Tokuno, is also in the news, as he says government targets doubling coconut plantation coverage from 180,000 hectares by 2028. And then these are the big stories on citynewsroom.com.
Okay, I'm on graphiconline.com, now graphic.com.gh. Some of the stories you'll find on graphic.com.gh. President Mahama recalls Baba Jamal from Nigeria as High Commissioner. NDC condemns vote buying in Ayawasi East primary, launches probe. Baba Jamal wins Ayawasi East NDC parliamentary primary. AG alarmed over land compensation claims against state. And President's visit to Zambia. Fugu amazes Zambia. Results in a social media war. Galamsey, what would Rawlings do? That's someone's write-up on Graphic Online. And passionate plea to BOG. Hear the plea of hurting customers and let their cries come unto thee. Parliament passes 24-hour Economy Authority Bill. Finance Ministry moves closer to Jubilee House in Kanda. Cocoa prices. Cocoa Board CEO blames pricing legacy debts for stranded beans. New DVLA number plate contract dispute. Court adjourns case to February 13 following joinder company's absence in court. Those are some of the stories you'll find on graphic.com.gh.
And let me take you to Ghana News Agency.com. President Mahama shares Ghana's Gold Board success story with Zambian Parliament. I beg your pardon, the website is gna.org.gh. Right, but yes, Ghana News Agency. And also here, Gold Coast Refinery key to economic reset. That's coming in from the Finance Minister, Ato Folsen. Baba Jamal went to also East NDC parliamentary primary. On cocoa issues, we are working to pay cocoa farmers arrears, exploring new funding model. That's coming in from the Cocoa Board CEO, Dr. Randy Abe. Energy Commission steps up port surveillance to protect public safety. So some other stories here. NDC holds also East Parliamentary Primary amid high police deployment. And also here, ECG reaffirms commitment to cash waterfall mechanism to ensure constant supply. These are the big stories on gna.org.gh.
I was trying to open News Center, but unfortunately, I'm unable to.
If I have it here. So the newscenter.com, they also have the story on the Ayawaso East NDC Parliamentary Primary. They capture other stories from the president's visits to Zambia.
Right.
Also here they have a piece on the Fugu cultural showcase that took place on Friday, as parliamentarians, took it pretty much seriously, you can say. Yes.
One of them says he's wearing fugu for the rest of their sittings.
Cool. I mean, it's welcome.
I think he's
right?
one of the parliamentarians from the north, so it's
highly
possible.
And you who said that he had over 40 smokes. 40 is a lot to have.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're, these, they actually like it because it's like easy wear. And it's one of the few fits or apparel that really goes with everything.
Yeah.
So you can give it like a semi-casual look.
Wedding.
You can give it a very formal look. You can give it a very honey, like you're saying, for all occasions, right?
Yeah.
So funeral, weddings, church, parties,
everything. But I don't know how you guys do. It is heavy.
It depends on. Not all of them are.
Not all of them are.
This one, the
one I wore on Friday to read 4:30. My shoulders were killing me.
Yeah, it's like I'm carrying dumbbells.
Like,
but
it's cool, like you have a weighted thing that you're trying to.
The one I wore yesterday, not quite.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. The one I wore yesterday as well wasn't that heavy.
It's lighter.
Friday's
Amazing.
one was quite heavy.
I don't know. We read the headlines, and I think we all saw what happened yesterday.
Yeah,
right?
we can delve into some of the stories.
And after that, maybe you can read the story, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Okay, which one?
Okay, so let's use the latest one, right? Mahama recalling Baba Jamal from Nigeria's High Commission to
over the vote inducement claims. Okay, I'm on channel1newsonline.com. And that story reads, President John Dramani Mahama has directed the immediate recall of Mohammed Baba Jamal Ahmed, Ghana's High Commissioner to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, following allegations of voter inducement during the National Democratic Congress's parliamentary primaries in the Ayawaso East constituency. The decision comes after claims emerged that Baba Jamal, who was also a candidate in the primaries, distributed gifts, including TV sets and boiled eggs, to delegates. In a statement signed by the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwakye Fosu, the President noted that while multiple aspirants faced similar allegations, Baba Jamal was the only serving public officer involved. President Mahama emphasized that notwithstanding ongoing investigations by the NDC into the matter, the recall is necessary to uphold the integrity of public office and maintain adherence. Where have I reached? Yeah, the recall is necessary to uphold the integrity of public office and maintain adherence to the government's code of conduct for political appointees, without prejudice to the ongoing internal party processes and strictly in view of the standards of conduct expected of public officers. The President considers it necessary to act decisively to preserve the integrity of public office, the statement read. The recall takes immediate effect, with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs instructed to complete the necessary administrative and diplomatic arrangements to formalize the process.
So it takes immediate effect, right?
Yes, that's what the statement says.
Wow. I don't know, do you have any thoughts on it you want to share with us?
Well, I think it's in the right direction. I actually thought that when you, previous elections, I know that when you show interest in a position, the other position you are holding, you must resign. So I was waiting for that, but that didn't happen. Now he's won the seat. I'm interested in what the investigations will show and what he'll say during those investigations, because although he did not admit to it, I watched several interviews where they asked him about those allegations that he's sharing items, and he said he doesn't know anything about it. So he hasn't readily accepted that he shared those items, but people who receive those items are the ones who
I think I saw an interview of him where he admitted to sharing the TV sets in particular.
Okay, then I didn't see that one.
No, there was an interview. There was an interview with Fauzu, Fauzu asked him about reports on him giving out TV sets, and he admitted to it that it doesn't constitute votes buying, but it's to support delegates, and he sees nothing wrong with it.
Okay, I must have missed that
the
one.
video is there.
The video is there. Okay, I'll take a look at that. But yeah, I'm very interested in what the investigations will come. I think it's in the right direction, especially since this government is bent on resetting the agenda and changing the idea we have around corruption. I can't wait to see what comes out of it. I know that the party itself is also doing their own investigations, and it will be interesting to see what comes out of it. There have been several before this one, several by-elections that we saw the similar thing, investigations, blah, 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 and nothing was ever done. So I hope that at least maybe this one, something will be done, set a precedence for other people, just in case there's another by-election somewhere, so that people will continue to it can't be business as usual. It's so not right that you have to use money to tell someone to vote for you. I mean, come on.
So, just before, at around 4:30 p.m. yesterday, just before the results will be announced, there was a statement signed by the General Secretary of the NDC, Honorable Fifi Fiavi Kwete, with the headline, NDC condemns the level of bribery in the Ayawaso East primary and launches investigations. This morning, there's been a different statement.
Okay.
But the previous one before the results read, the attention of the national executives of the NDC has been drawn to the widespread incidents of inducement and vote buying allegedly perpetrated by some aspirants in the primaries in the Ayawaso East constituency today.
Right.
The party vehemently condemns these actions in no uncertain terms, as they represent an affront to the values and principles of the party and the reset agenda the party is championing. The statement goes on to say, the party is immediately instituting a full-scale investigation into the matter and will take a swift action against any candidate found culpable. The statement ends by saying the party also wishes to make it clear that in the future more drastic sanctions will be taken, including possibly cancelling elections when such incidents come to the attention of the party. Signed, Honorable Fifi Fiabi-Kwete. So many questions from this statement, right? Then, from today, from yesterday, as I said, 4:30, mind you, the last paragraph, the party will take drastic actions in future when these things occur. This morning at around 5:40, right, the General Secretary, or let me say, our Head of Current Affairs, put a statement out, from the General Secretary, and it reads, NDC constitutes committee to investigate allegations of inducement and vote buying at Ayawaso East primaries. Now, brief excerpt, right? So following the announcement by the party to set up a committee to investigate the reported widespread inducement and vote buying during the Ayawaso East parliamentary primaries held on Saturday, 7th February 2026, the National Democratic Congress has constituted a 3-member committee to undertake the investigation. The committee will be chaired by Mr. Totobi Kwache, with Honorable Mahama Yariga and lawyer Emefa Fuga serving as members. The committee is expected to submit its report on Tuesday, 10th February 2026. The statement goes on to say, in line with the party's commitment to internal democracy, transparency, and ethical political conduct, the committee will investigate the allegations and make appropriate recommendations, including sanctions where necessary. The committee's mandate will also include making the recommendations on sustainable measures and reforms to decisively end the practice of inducement and vote buying in the party's internal electoral processes. The party wishes to assure its rank and file stakeholders and the general public that it remains committed to upholding the highest standard of integrity in its internal electoral processes. Members and supporters are therefore urged to remain calm as the committee undertakes its work. Further updates will be communicated in due course. So, a 3-member committee has been set. Yeah. Totobi Kwache will chair, then the majority leader, Mahama Yariga, and Emefa Fuga, right? My issue with the initial statement before this one, right, saying that drastic actions will be taken in the future, I think it raises a lot more questions. And I've heard people also, ask same. So for example, in the Ablekuma North by-election, we saw what happened. I covered that election extensively before the fights broke out. It was clear, it was happening, it was vivid. In fact, I interviewed the Greater Accra Regional Minister, right? She is still the minister anyway, Linda Oklu. And she confirmed, and I asked her a question around, does the instances of vote buying we've seen in the election not affect the integrity of the polls? Can you get a response to me?
I remember. She
was like, what integrity? The videos are everywhere.
They're on our YouTube.
So, you see, for me, the party can't feign not seeing
innocence,
that one. Innocence on that one. And now all of a sudden, create a posture as though this is the first time you are seeing something of this nature. So, it's a big test for the party. Will they annul the entire elections, order fresh elections, and have it done under prim and proper circumstances, such that we don't see a recurrence of some of these happenings? I don't know. The committee will bring out this work and I would see. Also, people have said a statement from the presidency, did it come a bit too late? Because it was pretty clear that he was not interested in being a high commissioner to Nigeria again. So at what point did the presidency say, okay, fine, he's here campaigning anyway, he's not in Nigeria working. He's earning a salary, let's withdraw him and get him to focus on the election. Why wait till when results have been announced and he's won anyway? So I think there are so many questions. And I think for one, it flies in the face of everything we've seen in the Presidential Code of Conduct. So of course I expected drastic actions to be taken, but it's still very early days yet. The committee has its work to be done. I want to hear from Baba Jamal himself what he makes of the presidency's decision and, of course, the party's decision as well. But, you know, a lot of what happened yesterday has no place in our democracy. We should be holding, you know, leaders who want to serve us to the highest level of transparency and accountability, right? It raises so many questions. Where did he get the money to fund 32-inch TVs? You know, concerning Mekodie, you can all, you know, but there, and you see, it wasn't just him, right? It wasn't just him. Cloths were shared. You know, in fact, we saw videos of motorbikes. We can't confirm whether it was from any of the candidates. But if you listen to some of the delegates speak, across all candidates,
something was being shared.
Exactly. In fact, the presidency's statement admitted to that. But it said that the only reason they took action on Baba Jamal because he's a serving public officer. But even with that one, you know, some persons are raising issues because we've seen that the wife of the late MP, in a way, was also a public official. She serves on boards, right? Yeah. So we need clarity on that one from government as well. And I'm sure in the coming week we'll get a lot more information. But I think we in the media should speak up against it and also educate, right? You know, and the delegates.
If they do annul this election, I wonder if there'll be enough time to organize fresh ones in time for the March, the March by-election.
We don't know. It's a 3-member committee. They have to submit their report on Tuesday. So by that time, we'll know, you know.
That doesn't give them a lot of time, which means they need to start today.
But I know the evidence is as
well,
clear.
It's glaring because
it's as red as scarlet and as white as snow.
On every media's YouTube channel.
God. You know, and the point is that the one in the center of the storm, right? Baba Jamal
has confirmed that
he has come out to say.
Don't you just love our viewers? Someone sent me a video that Baba Jamal confirmed sharing TV to delegates. Thank you.
Exactly. So Aminu
sent me that. So thank you very much.
We need serious. The laws are there, so it's not even a law issue.
The laws need to be implemented.
It's an enforcement issue, but there's also the cultural aspects, right? Where the citizens, we and Kasa, we are part. And I say if you are going to vote and somebody is bringing you an envelope, you will take it. You know, but if you have a sense of what you expect from your MP and you have a certain level of expectation in terms of what they are to do for you, service, I think some of these things will end. So it's also a value problem, right? And it's also an education problem. So we'll see how this goes.
Another thing that has also been coming up is whether this delegate system needs to be relooked at. As in, a few people select one person for all of us to vote on. In that, there have been, is it reports or results or polls that suggest that the educational level of the delegates or their what's the word I'm looking for?
Literacy.
Yes, literacy level isn't, you know, and so certain things would induce them or sway them to vote for one person or the other. So maybe we need to relook at the delegate system. That was a conversation that was being had around a few people.
I think it's a legitimate concern.
Yesterday.
And, you know, if you look at the reasons why, for example, Professor Frimpong Boateng, Dr. Nyaho Nyamo Tamaklo, Dr. Christine Nyama, who, by the way, was a former environment and science minister under NDC, Rawlings, right? These three stalwarts, now Nyamo Tamaklo, a colossus, right, in medicine and in politics. Frimpong Boateng, he's a globally acclaimed surgeon, right? Set up our cardiothoracic center. Dr. Christine Nyama, fantastic environmentalist, right? So if these three people with their wealth of experience feel like there's a problem with our delegate system, I think we should pay attention to them. For which reason they've marched to the Supreme Court. I think there are fair issues we need to look at, right?
Definitely.
But to what point? So what's the alternative? That I've not seen them speak about. So you're right if you say few people should not be determining the eventual choice, right? But then maybe it means that everybody else should also take an interest in some of these issues. Of course, we all can't be politicians, we all can't be delegates, but hey, this is the system that we have. We must make the best out of it. And I don't know. I was disappointed yesterday. I don't know about you, Eno.
I was equally disappointed as well. I was equally disappointed as well.
Yeah.
It was just too glaring. Despite all the laws that we have, it's like, well, people have done it before. Nothing was done to them, so business as usual.
To be fair, it wasn't just this election, right? Like I said,
every other.
We've seen it repeatedly, right? But this, this was the brazen nature. The brazen nature of it makes it very, very, worrying, right? He's questioned about it. It's like, yes, my child, my check, so everybody can go and sleep. And again, in Ablekuma, I cited the regional minister's example. I think that if the party was very serious about it, that was when it would have started cracking the whip, right? The woman was condemned at the time, but we didn't see a party statement.
No.
So what is so different now, in terms of the vote buying that has occurred? So Fifi has been praised for showing a lot of leadership in this. We want to see how this goes or how it ends, and it will decide or to form whether people continually have faith in this current administration,
right,
and their insistence on fighting corruption and cracking the whip where it matters. I don't know if you have any other stories you'd want us to just briefly touch on.
No, because that must be the biggest story. Or you want to do
the other big story is Coco, right? And there's also the change of the Kotoka International Airport. Yesterday, my friend Stephen Odatefio was on a big issue. He raised some interesting points on the reasons why he is petitioning for the name change. I've heard other arguments to the contrary. Paul Adomotre was on a history lesson yesterday, also highlighting the supposed flaws of Nkrumah, suggesting that he was a despot and the overthrow was necessary. It was a necessary evil, right? I've heard Senor Osi also make similar claims, saying that Nkrumah wasn't an angel. I don't know where you stand on it. Do you feel like the name should go or should stay?
I feel like at this point, is it what we really need? Because I've seen a comparison of other airports, not in Ghana, not in Africa, in the US, where they changed the name and the cost involved with each one. And it's a lot of money.
Yeah, because you have to
a lot of money.
Rolling airlines, you have to roll
stationery, equipment needs to be adjusted for the printing of new sheets, and it's a lot of money.
So
signages.
The reason, my
reasoning is that can we, or where are we going to find those resources? Unless it's already been set aside. But I feel like that's not what we need at this point.
You rather use the money to fix our education.
Simple.
Build hospitals.
We have the hospitals, they're there. We don't even have equipment.
Have we quantified the cost of the rename? Has there been any report or study
there's no been any
But clearly it will be cost intensive.
But it will cost a lot of money.
So you're saying that the reasons for the proposed name change is not, that's the word.
Like it's not enough.
It's not enough for the cost involved. Really?
No.
Wow. But can you quantify, emotions and quantify,
Emotions will always be there.
How much premium will you place on how a people feel about a time in history, right, that caused some level of disaffection for, supporters of Nkrumah? Can you place a price to that?
You can't.
You know the way they say, people say, democracy is expensive, elections is expensive, like, why are we wasting too much money? Hey, Parliament, hey, EC, see how much you spend on them, hey, Then the counter argument is that if democracy is expensive, can you quote a price for authoritarianism? Or imagine, living in a very, very restricted state? You can't really quantify that, right?
No, you can't.
In terms of putting a price on it.
So, you can't.
I don't know how much we can also quantify
people's emotions.
Yes, and, a very to some people, a dark past of our history.
Charlie.
That's whether you even believe it's a dark past. People feel like it was
maybe those who were there at that time.
It was a little light. I don't know. The debates are, you see, the point is the debates are necessary.
For or against, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I think we need to also find a way to document our history properly. There are so many, I'm reading some narratives. So
many gray areas as to what happened.
Exactly.
And, where it happened
and also distorted facts. It's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate, right? And I really hope that the few who are left, who are, national-minded, they should really codify it for us and teach it in our schools so that we understand. Because I've seen so many debates about the intention of the one-party state in Nkrumah wanted to, people felt like the circumstances at the time made it necessary. People too felt like he was a despot already and was minded to do what some of his compatriots at the time, on the continent were doing. It's unfortunate because you don't know, because you and I were not there. Anyway, viewers, let's hear from you, right? So, what do you make of the name change? Of course, we started by discussing Ayawaso East. If you have comments to that as well, kindly share on the WhatsApp number you'd see on your screen. Also, Kotoka. Are you okay with the name? Is it worth a change? Should we use the money for something else? Eno says the hospital are there. Let's resource them, right? Let's put in more equipment. Let's make it world class. Should we use the money for something more progressive, or we should try and change, some things that happened in the past? I don't know what you make of these issues, but I'll be glad to hear from you what your thoughts are on this. I don't have any other thing to share?
No, I do not.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we're back, there's a lot more right here on Sunday Breakfast. Don't go away.
What makes a man walk all the way from Takoradi to Accra? Not because he has to, but because he believes in the dream. This Sunday on the Upside Down Show, Frema Edunyame sits with Bra Kwame to uncover the passion, the struggles, and the powerful story behind this extraordinary journey.
But so one day you just got up and you decided to walk from Takoradi to Accra. As in,
it's something I didn't plan to do.
Okay.
Yes.
So you do things by heart?
It came by chance. You have to grab the opportunity. I was feeling so tired. I was like,
how were you looking? Because you've been walking.
So wretched, looking dirty. Like, if you should see me along the way,
and to set the mood, Elsifo Wright brings us soothing, soul-touching sounds you will absolutely love.
I don't know what you did to my mental state. You took me high and brought me low. I give you everything I knew.
Make a date with us this Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected Follow Channel One TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel One TV with support from City FM.
And it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, Didi Shito, Goyle, Mini Achumo, and Admi Granite Paste. And it's supported by Nanas Rice.
Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
It's never selfish saying no, rather, it's healthy. On this episode of Lifeline, we talk about setting boundaries, be it at work, in relationships, and even with family. Join Bishop Fred Kwanchimensa as he talks about how important it is to protect your peace without apology.
Welcome, my dear friends. This is Lifeline, where psychology meets theology to deal with life's complex situations. It is very important that you learn to set boundaries in order to be functional in life.
Boundaries are like invisible walls that is not meant to keep somebody out, but it's like it ends with you, where so walls that show where you end and where I begin.
Okay.
Or where I end and you begin. Because if those ones are not there, I will walk and bump into you.
Lifeline airs on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 p.m. only on Channel One TV.
Shall rise to thee. You are holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God in three persons, blessed Trinity, yeah. God in three persons, blessed Trinity, me free makumen, bsheni yawayache, SSM, dawasioda. Unsanu nyuma yewa wache esesemi dawasio da oh mi dawasio da midawasio da mi frima kumen misheni awaya che yesesemi dawasio da usanu nyuma yewa wache sesemi dawasio da midawasio da oh midawasio da. You are light, you shine through the darkest parts of me. Yes, you do, Lord, love of my life. Your love is unconditional, it never changes. Yeah. You are my world, Jesus. All I'll ever need is found in you, only you. You are a healer. Yeah. There's no infirmity greater than you. Greater than you. You are almighty, all powerful, great God. Yes, you are. You are almighty, all powerful, great God. Yes, you are. You are almighty, all powerful, great God. Oh, you are almighty, all powerful. You're the great God. You're the great God. Yes, you are. You're a great God. We worship you today. You're a great God. You're a great God. That's who you are. You're a great God. You're a great God. Oh, hey, crawl, 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 crawl. Yeshirawo, Safu Yehowa, oh yeah, crawl, 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 oh yeah, crawl, crawl, crawl. Oh, crawl, 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 crawl. Yeshirawo, Asafu Yehowa, oh yeah, crawl, 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 oh yeah, crawl, crawl, crawl. Yehovah, Ahuntifo Nidado no ye krom Yehovah ye krom You are no name krom Ahuntifo Nidado no ye krom Ahuntifo Nidado no ye krom Ahuntifo Nidado no yeah, krom. 'Cause I call you Jireh, you're my provider. I call you Nisi, you are my banner. I call you Rapha, you are my healer. Yeah. Lord, you're my everything. I call you Jireh, you're my provider. I call you Nisi, you are my banner. I call you Rapha, you are my healer. Lord, you're my everything. Oh, Lord, you're my everything. Oh, Lord, you're my everything. Oh, Lord, you're my everything. Everything. Lord, you are everything to me. Everything, everything, Lord, you are everything to me. My treasure, my priority. Who can compare to you? Great is the measure your royalty, oh morning star, you truly are. What they were more channel now. I told me I want the NT. You're anywhere, but to me, a DSC. Eratier. Untampaina sina metinada. Bunyuna sina metinada. Bunima hintabia mire entifa misie. Buntabanase. Oh Jesus, entifa misie. Buntabanase. Eratier. Buntabaina sina metinada. Bunyuna sina metinada. Oh, bunima kintaria. Entifa misie. Buntabanase. Oh, Jesus, entifa misie. Buntabanase. Tomorrow, You want to tina me no, the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. I do, mintina mitiasi, yeah, want to tina me Lord, the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. I do, see me done more, yes, me done more, yeah, me done more, yes, me done more, hey, some inside, yes, some inside, yes, some inside. Free say yes, soon, yamia, oh, you're wow, when you be around soon, yeah. No, casa, didn't yet be around soon, yeah. Oti chance any faso redeemer, yeah. And unti and suroshi, yes, soon yamia, yo, when be around soon, yeah. Oh, yo, oh, you're wild when oh, you're wild when oh, wild when hey, magic Messiano. Oh, you're wild when oh, you're wild when
Full of questions, where truth often hides behind noise, one show dares to ask what truly matters face to face. With fearless clarity and a quest for accountability, host Marisanda Amadou sits down with the movers and shakers of politics, governance, society, and business, confronting the issues that define our national conversation.
Yes, I am Marisanda Amadou. This is Face to Face, and you're welcome.
I say very often on the floor of Parliament that when we were in government, we got some things right, we got some things wrong.
Are you still planning to go to Parliament, or you want to look at National Party office position?
No, I'll be going back to Parliament. There's an unfinished business which I need to do.
Sports has 3 legs: development, management, and promotion.
Disintegration is extreme. We do not wish that even on your worst enemy.
Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou on Face to Face as he digs deeper, challenges power, and reveals the stories shaping Ghana's future. Only on Channel One TV.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, one legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel One TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates, and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel One TV with support from City FM.
And it's proudly sponsored by Hollard Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, Didi Shito, Goyle, Mini Achumo, and Admi Granite Paste. And it's supported by Nanas Rice.
Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Watching DSTV means getting the TV you love, but staying connected means getting something extra. Stunning. Extra matches, extra dramas, the best local and the world's biggest. Extra laughter, music, movies, and extra vim. I love it. Just stay connected or reconnect and get upgraded to the next higher package at no extra cost. Charlie, we got you. Keep watching. Get more with DSTV.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hydradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Mintuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Mintuba Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast right here on Channel One TV. My name is Jude Duncan. Just gone by, we had our artist for the day, Che Mensah, helping us through a time of uplifting music, right? You know, absolutely breathtaking, fantastic stuff. Prior to that as well, we had our news review segment where Eno and myself brought you the big stories that, you know, have been making rounds from last night up until this morning, featuring prominently Ayawaso East by-election and of course issues around, you know, Cocoa, Kotoka, international name change and other issues. It's now time for our health segment.
Yes, it is.
And today we are discussing facial injuries. That's interesting, right?
Facial injuries, like that's an interesting topic.
You know, our resident or our guest, Dr. Kalsum Zakaria Adam, will be joining us pretty shortly. And, you know, I don't know, but does concussions form part? Hi, Doc, you're welcome. How are you doing?
Very well.
Amazing. I was trying to get Endo's thoughts on the discussion we'll be having today, right?
Yeah.
Facial injuries. And I was wondering if concussions are what you can describe as a facial injury.
So there are a number of them that we are going to talk about. So concussions can occur in various different parts of the body. So if you have soft tissue and then some bleeding within it with some edema, yes, you have some concussion.
So it's a facial injury.
So facial injuries, let me start from the classifications.
Okay.
So when you take the face, okay, you have the hard parts and then the soft parts.
Like your forehead is hard.
Exactly.
Your cheeks are soft. And your chin is hard.
No. So even the forehead has a bone there, so which we call the frontal bone. Okay. Then the cheek also, you have some bones there, a number of them. You have the main cheekbone, which we call the zygomatic bone. Okay. And then you have part of it is also being formed by something we call the maxilla, which forms the mid face, most of the mid face. Okay. Then when you come to the lower face as well, you have the mandible, which is your lower jaw. You get it? So those are the hard parts of the face. And the face is made up of different bones, about 14 of them, 14 different ones. Okay. And the soft parts, I mean, is you have some muscle there, you have some skin there, you have some fat there, you have your blood vessels, and then your nerves and all of that. You get it? So those are basically what the face is made up of. And then you have vital structures as well. You have your cartilage for your nose, you have your eyes, okay, and other vital structures within this area. And even in the mouth, you have your teeth there, and then you have the bone. So all of these are just different components of the facial region. Now, this facial region is very important because it needs to be protected, especially when it comes to transportation. So most people tend to, because it's prominent, that's the first part of the face that you see, it's sticking out. If there's some form of injury, it tends to be affected. You get it? And the injuries can be in different aspects of it. It can affect the hard part, it can affect the soft part. So if it affects the soft part, then we are talking about, let's say it's just the epithelium or just the skin part of it that has been scraped off. So that's an abrasion. So sometimes you see that there's this scratch. So let me just say a little scratch on the skin, then that's an abrasion that you just need to do a little some dressing, and then you would have taken care of it. But when you have deeper cuts, we call them lacerations. So deeper cuts that go through muscle, that goes through the whole thickness of the skin, and then goes into deeper structures, then these are lacerations that you talk about. And the concussions that you spoke about, where you have some edema and then some form of bleeding within the tissues, that makes it edematous eventually, then you have that as well. And then when it comes to the hard tissue injuries, anytime you have some break in continuity of the bone that you have, then you would say that there's some fracture there. And the fractures are different depending on which part of the bone has been affected. So these are some of the injuries we are talking about. And I'm sure in the background you see a skull that is showing different fracture points in different. So this is typically what you may end up seeing in a road traffic accident patient. A road traffic accident patient,
so distorted.
Exactly. So you can see lines. So those are the fracture lines. Okay. Wow. So you would see this in road traffic accident patients, especially those who do not protect themselves, who do not have protective clothing, like typically what we would all advocate for, which is the helmets. You get it? So sometimes you may end up with this, and if a patient presents with this, you can see that almost every bone within the face is fractured. So we call it panfacial fractures.
A what?
Panfacial fractures. So it's like the whole of the face has different multiple fractures at different areas. And these injuries usually do happen as a result of, in fact, number one is road traffic accidents. So road traffic accidents as maybe a motorcyclist, or road traffic accident as a pylon rider, so a passenger who is riding on a motorcycle, or you have it as a pedestrian who is crossing the road and then is met by either a moving vehicle or these motorcyclists. Now, even when you have the car stopping for you to even cross, you have to double check because of these motorcyclists that can just come out from nowhere and then end up causing injuries. And then it can also be as a result of falls. Okay, it can also be as a result of assault. So if there's assault or some form of fall from a height, all of these are some of the etiological factors that can lead to some of these injuries that you can see on the screen right now. But coming back to it, you notice that when you look at the epidemiology, most of it, especially in Korle Bu, we have actually done a study to show that there are a number of these road traffic accidents that lead to facial fractures. Now, most of it, the etiology, you notice that is from road traffic accidents. About 55% of it is from road traffic accidents.
55%? That's more than half of that.
Exactly.
What is the close section?
So most of the time, you see, when you say that, in fact, in a month, we see more than, if I should just say, just from the top of my head, we see more than 30 cases. You get it. And these are, I mean, the realities. So 55% out of all the facial injuries that you see is from road traffic accident. And just not to burst your bubble, out of that 55%, majority of them are from motorcyclists.
I'm not surprised because
who are unhelmeted.
I recall
most times when you see them, they're not wearing their helmets.
I recall going to help a Christmas child.
Okay.
We donated to the burns and plastic surgery unit of Korle Bu. At the time, Dr. Poku Ware was heading the department.
CEO, yeah.
Oh, I know. It was.
That's terrible.
Oh, Jesus! Like every single time, they were bringing in somebody who either the leg, the arm, the head.
Yeah.
You know, and we were there for like a couple of hours. I saw like 3 cases within that short period I was there.
Yeah.
So I'm not even surprised.
Yeah.
Another point I wanted to make, if you look at the statistics on road accidents, it's in the last year, for example, it killed more people than COVID did.
Yeah.
It killed more people, or it's killing more people than malaria.
Yeah.
So it's a public health concern.
Exactly. Very, very important, especially. And you see, when you even compare the statistics, you notice that as far back as 2012, Nigeria actually banned the use of Okada in their main one of their main cities. That's Lagos. The major roads, and that's as a result of the fact that majority come from these motorcyclists and not enforcing the road traffic regulations. Because you notice that a lot of the motorcyclists will just go past the
red
traffic, without any sanctions, and they are not wearing helmets, and the riders or the pylon riders are also not wearing helmets. And when you are faced in such a situation, the injuries that you may present with is typically what I have shown in the screen there, where you have multiple bones actually being fractured. And not only so, you wouldn't see, this is just the skull showing you the fractures. So you can imagine the soft tissue aspect of it. You get it? So there'll be multiple, as I mentioned earlier, there'll be some lacerations somewhere, there'll be some abrasions, concussions, all of that, contusions, and all of that.
How do you treat and manage this? Because, I mean, from a lay person's point of view, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, there's no way you can salvage this situation.
Yeah. Oh, it can be salvaged. It can be salvaged.
And you'll get your structure back?
I mean, you
to
will
a
get
certain degree.
Yes. So mostly is to restore function, because the facial region with the bones, what mainly the functions of the facial region and the bones is, at least it helps you to feed well, it helps you to speak, it helps you to breathe. You get it. So those are some of the things that you would want to make sure that you would have restored. So if you are looking at these fractures, there are classifications. So the lower jaw, the movable, the one that is mobile or the movable one, Once there's some fracture, we call them mandibular fractures.
Okay.
So it can be fixed. Now, the mid-face, which is when you draw an imaginary line through the pupils and then a line through the occlusal surface of the lower jaw. You notice that that's the mid-face. And that also, there are different classifications depending on the lines of fractures. So some of the fractures may start from the nose or the bridge of the nose and then starts and go all the way to the eye region and come down and go to the zygomatic ridge. So that's one area. If you look at the picture, you would see it. Now, some can happen through just the orbits where the eyes are and then move backwards. Okay, others too can go through just the lower jaw. Depending on it, when you do have these fractures, the first thing is you need to make sure that the patient is what? Safe and alive.
Right.
So safety and then the patient is alive. Once that is done, then you would have to assess the types of injuries that they may have presented with. So depending on the, as I mentioned, any of these bones that are affected. Now, for you to be able to make the complete diagnosis, you need some imaging. So the imaging will mostly be your CT scans. So you take your CT scans and the CT scans would be able to tell you exactly where the fracture lines are. Then based on that, you would have to plan to take them to theater and then do the surgeries.
How common is this among contact sports, right? So you mentioned road crashes.
Yes.
You break down to tell us it's worse even among motorcycles.
Yes.
But we also, I mean, football, we watch football a lot, right? And we see a lot of these fractures. Every now and then your favorite player has a fracture and he's off. That kind of thing. How common is it?
Okay, so when you compare the statistics between developing countries and developed countries, you notice that the main or the number one source of facial fractures for the developed countries is assault. Yes. It's assault. And it's because of...
Not even crashes.
Yes. Not crashes. And then sports is number 3.
Yeah, to be fair, like they do all of those things, like all of
you
those.
Get it. And that's as a result of the different rules and regulations we do have. People, I mean, when you go to the developed countries, they are free to use guns. They are free to use all of these weapons compared to here. So when you can actually see that there is the number one etiological factor varies according to the geographical area.
See, America has a gun problem, right? It's not,
they don't want to admit it.
So gunshot injuries, top there. Yes.
Right. Top of my head, there are so many gun violent movements.
Yes. Right.
Then in the UK too, at the point there was a stabbing incident, like a spate of knife violence in the UK.
Yeah.
You know, so it makes for interesting analysis.
Yeah.
The causes of these fractures.
Depending
on outside of assault, then sports come.
Yes, then sports is
because
number 3.
Contact, like very active contact sports.
Yeah. So for that, usually you'd have these facial fractures, especially when you get the impact directly on the face. So that's why usually they are asked to wear mouth guards. Okay, so these mouth guards would be a little protective of the mid-facial region as well as the teeth on that side. Once you don't have it, it goes. You end up having any of these fractures depending on the weakest point. So anytime there's an impact, the bones are able to dissipate the forces. And the weakest points are usually the vulnerable areas that get fractured. So that is why you would end up with such a fracture. Different or multiple bones being affected. So you can see that part of the frontal zygomatic suture on there. Yes, let me not go much into details.
But you lost us.
Yes, so you see where the eyes are.
Yeah.
You can see there's some break there.
Yes.
So that's the rim. So part of the rim there, it is fractured. When you come to the nasal bone or the nose, the bone that supports the cartilage of your nose that we see externally, you see that there's some fracture there.
So a boxer can come to the hospital looking like this?
So a boxer may not have this severe form of fracture. Boxer may end up having more of the soft tissue injuries because of the impact. Exactly.
Wow.
So more of the soft tissue injuries. So he may end up with a lot of hematoma. He may end up with a lot of the contusions.
So the soft tissue is the one that leads to the inflammation.
Yes. So the soft so inflammation, every part. Once you have blood supply to any part of the body, you can end up with inflammation. So inflammation is just a way. It's a response, a protective response to show that you are healing. You get it. So any part of the body that has which is viable, that has blood supply, has the tendency to undergo inflammation. And the inflammation will have the swelling, the pain, all those things related to it. So as we were talking earlier, such a patient will typically come with certain signs and symptoms. Signs and symptoms may be that they may not be able to chew properly because you can see that there are different fracture lines. Others may be that anytime they try to put their teeth together, the back teeth meet and the front teeth are open. So it affects the function for eating. Others may be that the tongue is actually related to certain, there's something we call the genial tubercle. It holds, so the jawbone holds the tongue. But if there's some fracture there, it means that the tongue will fall back.
Wow.
So if the tongue falls back, they'll come with some respiratory. Remember I mentioned that it will compromise either your speech, your eating, and then even breathing.
Wow.
So these are some of the things that they may present with, aside the fact that they would come with the swellings,
and all of
and
that.
then there may be nosebleeds as well, and then some of them may even have, and you definitely would have to make sure that the C-spine, where the C-spine is actually not affected.
Is that why usually after
you'd have a collar?
Victims, you have the neck support.
So that you end up protecting the C-spine in that regard.
Can you also share with us post the fracture, right? It means that a surgery would have to take place.
Yes. So the surgeries can either be you having to fix some plates to put together the fractures. So they'll put, let me say metals, so that it can heal. So you would want to put it together. First of all, you want to reduce it to its pre-fractured state. Okay. After reducing it, then you fix it. Then after fixing it, you immobilize so that it will heal.
Does it mean that those plates that are you'd have to go back into surgery to have them removed, or it's forever?
No, so there are certain, so let's say for instance in children, pediatric cases, you may have to, if you use certain plates which are not resorbable, you may have to go back and remove them. But if they are not that, then you would have to leave them in. So they are titanium plates, they are biocompatible. So you may not have to go back in. And then
if you're going through an airport, you always have to take a doctor's report.
So is this where plastic surgery comes in?
So it's both ways. So plastics may be if you do have some avulsion injury. So avulsion injury is you have lost part of it. So say part of the lip and you've lost everything. There's complete detachment of part of it.
Okay.
So you may have to now reconstruct it.
Okay.
You get it. So that is where plastics comes in. Other than that, you should be able to put the stitches together or put the soft tissues together once it's laceration or any of these things, and make sure that there's no source of infection as you are putting it together.
Wow.
And if you should fix as well, you need to fix it around something we call the occlusion. So the occlusion is when you put your teeth together, the relationship that the upper jaw has with the lower jaw. There's some relationship. And that's that harmonious relationship that helps you to chew, that helps you to do any other thing, talk, and all of that. But then if you are fixing, you need to make sure that your fixation is around that occlusion. Because what's the essence of fixing all the fractures and the person will not be able to function? You get it? So function is always number one. Key priority when you are fixing these fractures. Once you have healing, then you can look at the other aesthetic aspects of it.
Jude's favorite word, aesthetics.
You're a maxillofacial surgeon.
Yes.
Is that your specialty?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, every other thing comes to you very easily, but I get that. I get the sense that you're really going on this and this. Wow.
Yeah.
So post-surgery, so this is what maxillofacial surgeons do.
Yes. So fixing fractures, removal of tumors, and all of that, depending on the region it's affecting.
Interesting.
Wow. How? So, if I'm seeing the images you're sharing, right?
Yeah.
Some of them clearly have affected the dental structure. Do you also, do surgery on the tooth area, the dental cavity, or you would say this is where the dentist comes in?
Okay, so I'm saying when you are fixing these fractures, you remember I said you fix it around the occlusion. The occlusion is the relationship of the upper jaw to the lower jaw.
Okay.
So certain times when you are doing, so there are two main ways of fixing these fractures. Either you do open reduction or closed reduction. So the open reduction, but regardless of whether open or closed reduction, you need to use the teeth and the relationship of the upper and the lower jaw to be able to get correct fixations. So for the closed reduction, most of the time, what you do is that you have to shut the teeth or shut the jaws through the teeth for not less than 6 weeks. You get it?
So you're not
so
talking
not less
for
than
6 weeks?
They would be able to still talk with their teeth shut. You will be able to still
I have like so
talk.
many
And then
questions,
feeding would have to be through the back.
Tube? Through a tube?
Through using straws.
Okay.
But then there's some space at the back where you will still be able to put some food there. And then you'd have to be on soft
just
diet.
liquid.
Thank you. Yes, you're doing just soft diet.
Please forgive the ignorance, right? Because, of course, you didn't sit in your gay science classes and your medical school classes. So if a client comes to you, right, or a patient comes to you with this kind of, is it that you cut their faces open?
Okay. So what you do is that, you remember I said the injuries are soft and hard.
Yes, I remember that one.
So now the soft parts, you would want to utilize the lacerations or already where there are some cuts to be able to assess the fractures.
What if there are no cuts?
If there are no cuts, then yes, there are standard places where you can cut to get access to the fracture line and fix, depending
What if
on where
it
it
is
is.
mangled, like you are seeing in some of the images you've shared? So it means you make multiple cuts.
No, so most of the time for these, they come with certain lacerations.
Okay.
And these lacerations, you can utilize those lacerations
so
that you don't
like
end up causing...
already openings, right?
Yes, already cuts.
Yeah. Okay,
So that you don't... we call them pre-existing scar areas or pre-existing injury sites where you can still go through those injury sites to be able to access these fracture points and then fix. Other than that, for closed reductions, so this will be for open. For closed reductions, you may just have to manipulate. After manipulating, then you don't have to open directly to where the fracture points are, but you would just reduce using some instruments. Okay, after you reduce, then you put it, your rate determining step would be the occlusion, where you put it together for it to stay there and then heal.
Has there ever been a point where you or any of, you have to remove the whole face to fix?
Yes, there are certain times where you'd have to do, let's say, jaw surgeries to cut part of the jaw away.
Oh no.
So if you have, let's say, a tumor which has affected one part of the jaw and it's affected it's eating away the bone and all of that and affecting other soft tissue structures like the tongue, the palate and all of that. Yes, there are certain times where you would have to do, so we call them resections, jaw resections, depending on the area that has been affected. Certain times you would have to even go and disarticulate the joint on this side.
Wow.
So once you cut, we call them hemimandibulectomies or segmental resections or marginal resections, where you would cut away that part. But after you cut away that part, then it means that you may have to reconstruct if the disease, the biology of the disease allows it. Because if they are cancerous, then you may have to wait a little bit more to see before you can do your reconstruction. But if they are benign, then, and you have clear margins, then you can go ahead and do your reconstruction.
So I'm guessing that depending on the type of injury,
Yes.
then
the treatment
will be given. And what
yes.
about the recovery time?
Recovery times, as I said, you will need about 6 weeks to be able to achieve some callus formation and some bone deposition in those areas. So after the 6 weeks, you would have to reassess. After reassessing, if everything is fine, certain times you may, if you are doing your close reduction, you may have to release the intermaxillary fixations and then wait to see if they are able to feed, talk, do all those things, the functions. If that has been resolved, then you can go ahead and remove all the other hardware that you used for the fixation in the closed reduction technique. So those are some of the things that you look at. So, you know, oftentimes people would say that, okay, if you do the closed reduction, that means that I'm going to be on soft diet for about 6 weeks. Okay, so it's either I'm taking smoothies or I'm taking just water and some other liquid stuff. So you would, so most patients are eager to get themselves out of that situation so that they can go back to their wache, their kinky, and
it's very interesting, right? And it's unfortunate time is not on our side because I have so many questions for you.
Okay.
Right, but maybe just help us with this. So post-surgery, everything is back. Would you say, for example, there are certain products that you may not be able to use again?
Products in
like that
in terms of
irritants, right?
Okay, so if I get you right, is it in terms of eating or in terms of...
Maybe that's a whole different conversation. But basically, are there any things post-surgery that can trigger like imbalances?
So all right, I get it. So now, post-surgery, you'll be given certain instructions. So post-surgery starts from the moment you even finish or you put your last stitch in theater. So there are instructions. The instructions would be for at least for the first 6 weeks, you are not going to be eating anything hard. So it's all going to be soft to allow for that immobilization so that some healing will take place. Subsequently, after the 6 weeks, 2 weeks review, you'll be seen, and then you would gradually start to eat normal diet. But it's not at once. You would have to gradually start so that we should have ensured that the healing has started and is ongoing for a little bit before. And then when it comes typically to the fractures that affect the joint space, you are not, there's something we call, after we fix and then we release, you would have to do something we call TMJ exercises. Because the tendencies are that this joint space is very small. So you can end up bleeding into it. And when you bleed into it, deposition of bone would form, and then you may end up with something we call ankylosis. So ankylosis is like, it's healing. The bone is healing, the joint space is lost. So if the joint space is lost, remember it's a joint space that helps you to open and close. So imagine now that joint space is lost. That means that you may not be able to open again.
Wow.
You get it? So that is the ankylosis. So gradually you would be giving what you need to do to be able to come back to normal function fully when it comes to feeding, when it comes to speech, and then the other vital structures that were involved in such a situation. And then it also would come back to certain fractures. Let's say we have some complex fractures. So some complex fractures do involve certain nerves. You see, there's this small hole down there in the previous picture. There's a nerve that comes out there. So that nerves usually would help you have some sensation to your lower lip. You get it? So imagine that nerve through the fracture was severed.
Wow.
So if it was severed, it means that, and it wasn't repaired, it's not possible to repair, it means that you may lose sensation. You may not be able to feel your lower lip. You get it?
A listener
Certain
sent me
times too-
pictures. I would want you to.
Have a look.
Yeah.
Certain times too, there may be people who may have lost part of, let's say, there's some avulsion of certain parts
too
of their
gory.
body, which would need to be reconstructed
Right.
gradually,
Wow.
depending on. So the instructions really do vary depending on the type of fracture that you do have or the type of soft tissue.
I mean,
fracture that you
there's
do
a disclaimer. I mean, you see words like this, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right, interesting.
So, you remember this incident?
I think he was attacked
Okay.
sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for him, it looks like he has. So when you look at the facial profile, there's some soft tissue injuries that he suffered. So I can see some lacerations on the upper right region involving the upper eyelid region. And then you can also see that the malar regions on either side was also affected. And even he had a little bit, there's a scar on the tip of the nose, which is also indicative that he suffered some abrasive injuries to that area. And then you can also see that there are certain concomitant injuries, which is involving the finger, the last but one finger on the right
And the
side.
finger is usually soft tissues, right?
Yes. So the finger also has
Hard tissues as well. Hey, Charlie.
the finger also has hard tissue. But then for him, this particular one, yes, he has mainly some soft tissue. But I won't be able to tell whether the hard tissue is involved until I examine.
Exactly.
Because what I can see, beyond what I can see, you need to touch,
Examine.
which is palpation. So what I can see now is mainly soft tissue that has been lacerated and has some edema. But there may be the bone within the finger may have been fractured as well.
There's so much to talk about. Maybe we should probably continue next week because, like, pain post, how to manage.
Yes, the pain as well, and then yes, very important.
Grateful for
We
your
can
time.
do that.
Dr.
Thank you,
Kalsum Zakaria Adam. So this falls under surgeries, right?
Yes,
So-
maxillofacial surgery.
And also plastic surgeries?
Yes, plastics as well.
Because usually when we talk about plastic surgeries here, it's actually a very thriving industry.
Yes, it is.
I hear you people are very rich.
Plastic or maxillofacial surgeons are very rich outside Ghana. But here we are not. I like that caveat.
You have to add that caveat, right? Because like it's become very trendy, right?
Yeah.
Especially for some of our female friends, like they want to change a few things.
Yeah.
So it's a very lucrative industry.
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay, I have to kind of
Depending
pay
on-
tight.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for the time. We are grateful that you could spend your
Thank
morning
you.
running us through or taking us through this really insightful health conversation. So that's just by way of information. Based on the parts of YouTube, go view for yourself, share the link as well. I will now take you all the way to Dangbe, right, where residents in the area are facing an acute water crisis. You can as well add Boteman because there's no water there as well. But we focus on Dangbe now. Residents that are not happy, they are calling on authorities to fix their water issues.
For residents of Dangbe in Bimbilla, hope once existed because of their proximity to the Wampu Dam, which has served the entire Bimbilla township and surrounding communities for years. However, due to rapid population growth and increased human activities, the dam has become heavily polluted and unsafe for use. Residents say houses have been constructed close to the dam, whilst rubbish and other waste are dumped into it. Women and other residents of the community share their daily struggles in accessing clean and safe water.
Before we will go to Wampu to fetch water, I think it will spend us almost an hour to go for the water. And the water too is not even safe for drinking because animals are drinking in that water, eating inside the water. People are dying in the water, yet we are drinking it.
The water is not good for our health because sometimes we feel like no person is, but we don't have any option than to fetch it because people are falling inside and they are dying, but we don't have any option.
The plight of the community has, however, received some relief following the intervention of a philanthropist, Francisca Ashon, CEO of Odehini Crochet and Craft Center, who visited the community last year, has provided a mechanized borehole to help address the water challenge.
Today I'm very excited that we are handing over this borehole project to the Dangbe community. May God make it a blessing unto the community. And as we have come here, may many people see this gesture and also come and give the community the help they need, so that the community will grow, so that the community will become great and help the society at large.
Imagine that situation where you don't have access to potable water, and through someone's generosity you finally get access to that. Let's go there to that region, speak to Northern Regional Correspondent Mohammed Aminu M. Alabira. Many thanks for joining us, Mohammed. How are you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I am doing very well, please.
It's great to hear from you. We've been speaking since morning. You sent pictures of that gory accident that you had some time ago. But we thank God that you're doing very well now.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are the people of Dangbe? Describe to us what you saw when you went there.
Yes, Dangbe is a suburb of Bimbila. To the west, that is, if you are going from Bimbila to Salaga, the East Gonja, that is where Dangbe is located. And one interesting thing is also that Dangbe is closer, or they are just at the bank of the Wampu Dam. Wampu Dam is the dam that serves Bimbila and surrounding communities for years. For years. I remember when we were children, that was where we used to go with bicycles and others, and it was very far away from town. But now the dam is almost at the center of town. So that is where Dangbe is located.
And the situation that they're facing, is it peculiar to Dangbe, or it's amongst the towns that you mentioned?
Yes. It is for the whole of Bimbila town. But because Dangbe came in the news because they are very close to the dam. And it happened that one philanthropist was there. She visited the area and saw how women were struggling. So she decided to come to their aid. The Wampu Dam, because of population growth, the water has become unsafe for use. Like I said, when we were children, we used to fear seeing the dam because then the water was very large. But this time, due to human activities like farming close to the dam is filtered. And you know, human beings too have said that maybe they believe the gods, some believe that the gods are in the dam and others. So they go there to do all manner of things, throwing things there. Last year, I remember one lady fell inside and died in the water. I remember I did a story on that. So because of these activities, the water has now become unsafe. Animals from the community, the whole of Bimbila, they have nowhere except that dam that they'll all go there to drink.
So that means that the human beings are sharing the dam.
It's the only source of water for Bimbila.
Wow. So human beings are sharing that water with animals?
Yes, yes. Human beings, animals, that is the only water source for residents of Bimbila. There is no water, except now that maybe people have now dug boreholes and pipes in their various places. That is why maybe sometimes some people will have other alternatives. Else, Wampu Dam is the only source of water for Bimbila people.
Interesting. Is there a hospital or a CHIPS compound? How do they get access to water for their daily needs?
Yes. Bimbila hospital, the government hospital, is in town. And like I say, that is the source they all depend on. At Jangbe, there is a chief compound there.
Okay.
And that is what they all depend. What happens is that water tankers, there are those that go to fetch the water for people in town. Yes, at first, Bimbilla water treatment plant was located at the place. But some years back, it got burnt. So now, it's just the surface water that all these are using. The hospitals, as you mentioned, they all depend on that, and that is sometimes is the tankers or is the water tankers that give them water at the hospital.
Right.
So yes.
Talk to us about the Bimbilla water treatment plant that you mentioned. If you can recall how long ago it was burnt, and why the government or the authorities in Bimbilla have not made any plans or any attempts to fix it, considering that it treated water for residents of Bimbilla as well as Dangbe.
Yes, it's over 10 years now, if I would say. It's over
10 years
now. Yes, since the plant was burnt.
Wow.
Yes, and since then, the water people dug a borehole close to the place, and that was what they are now using to send water to people's homes in town, and the pipes is not all the time. Currently, what they have also done is that the community called Fabi, when you are just living in Bimbilla PNB, the first community there, they also for now, that is what they are doing, or that is what they have done. They have dug a hole there. They say the water there is somehow good and it can sustain the people of Bimbilla for some time now. So that is currently what they are doing. Right. The Fabi pipe is what is being supplied to the people of Bimbilla for now. But as for one put down, as you saw the ladies there searching, and so if they give you, if you see the water and they even search it for you to wash your hands, you will not agree.
Wow.
Yes.
So this water is what they're using for cooking, for bathing, for literally everything. And
yes.
Do they drink it?
Yes, they do. Even most restaurants or cooking these things in town by the roadside, that is what
That's the water they use.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
And even people home. Yeah.
So the philanthropist, talk to us about her. She came to Dangbe, she saw the situation, and what happened then?
She came to Dangbe to visit a friend. She told me she's from Accra. She is in Ghana. That was my interaction with her on the day. She said she's from Accra and that she visited a friend at Dangbe and saw the sufferings the women were going through then. And she has an NGO called something craft center. So because of that, she was felt. She felt for them, and she said she's a humanitarian woman who does things for colleagues, ladies. So because of the women, she said no, she was going to assist them. So she came to their aid by drilling a mechanized borehole for them. Yes, and the chiefs and people of Dangbe, women, they were actually very excited for that, saying that, oh, now they have a good water that they can depend on.
Did she quantify the costs involved in that construction?
Actually, because it was later in the evening and the place was, they were busy dancing. Actually, that escaped me. Okay. So I actually didn't find out from her. I was her to put up that thing.
I ask because if we had known the cost, then we could put it to government that if a philanthropist can use their own money to fund such a project, why is government sitting by and not doing something similar for the people of Dangbe and indeed the whole of Bimbilla Township?
Yes. You see, talking of government doing something for the people of Bimbilla, the River Oti is not that far from Bimbilla. And sometimes the people of Bimbilla get amazed anytime government talks about water projects for towns like the ND Water Project, the Mango Water Project. What about Bimbilla? Sometimes myself, even if I go to report on some of those things, I always say to myself, so what about my own place? Has government forgotten about us? The Oti River is not far away, and I think that the government could have done that for us, and that water, no matter the size of the leader, could have assisted that place.
All right. Aminu, thank you so much. We have the MP for Bimbilla, Dominic Nitiwul. Honorable, you're welcome to Sunday Breakfast on Channel 1 TV.
Thank you very much, and good morning.
Good morning
to your listeners. Yes.
Good morning to you too. The people, except that the people of Dangbe and Bimbilla are facing water crisis, water issues, and I'm sure you know about this.
So, the issues of the water crisis in that area has been a long-standing problem. Until we came to office in 2017, when I decided that we'll tackle this water crisis head-on. It has always been a very big perennial problem, especially in the dry season, because at that time, the primary source of water was the river, the dam that was constructed in the 70s. So I decided first, as a short-term measure, to construct borehole that I did mechanize myself directly for the people. And so I gave what we call electoral areas, where we have an assemblyman. Every electoral area, I gave them a borehole. And then I didn't mechanize it. I put a poly tank, mechanized it for them. And so they were using that. Then I decided to talk to community water, because the water system, which they used to pull the water from the Wampu River, was under the community water system. So I went to talk to them. We pushed, and finally they awarded that contract. They actually completed that contract shortly before the elections, where they had to drill boreholes at Wampu and connected the water. And so largely, about 80 to 90% of the people don't drink water directly from the Wampu dam again. They all drink from the community, enhanced community water supply that they give them. For Dangbe itself, Dangbe is just a community very close to the Wampu dam. I did same for them. I also gave them a borehole, and then I mechanized that borehole. If maybe for some reason that borehole is having problems or it's fault, I will try and go and fix it back. Otherwise, I did that for all of them. So Dangbe should not be having real water problems, same as Bimbilla currently. Hardly does anybody this time drink directly from the Wampu dam. No. They all use the new water system that has been created, including the boreholes that I give them, which are still working anyway. So that is what I know about the area. But you're going to find, if you move to the area, you will find a lot of cars moving there, because people who are doing construction and a lot of other people who are using it for other purposes other than drinking still go there to fetch water. So I know that for a fact. But the majority of the people in town now don't drink directly from the water of the Wampu dam. That's the one you are talking. It's not called Dangbe. There's a town called Dangbe. The community called Dangbe, but it's called Wampu Dam. Majority of the people don't drink the water from there any longer. I did fix that problem before we left office.
Right.
And you can verify from anybody, and they will tell you that's what I did. Like I said, in the short term, I did that. And when I was doing that, it was not actually I didn't use government funding to do the boreholes. I actually used my own funds. I actually used my own funds. It wasn't government. I never used one peso of government to construct a single borehole. All of them, I constructed them using my own funds. I just had to raise funds, drilled 12 boreholes in town, and I think I mechanized about 11 of them. And then that's what they were all using. But then I had to talk to Ghana Water, Ghana Water, Community Water,
right,
for them to come and then do it permanently. And so Community Water came, expanded the system, and that's what they are currently using.
Honorable, our correspondent says that there's a Bimbilla water treatment plant that has been destroyed. I'm sure you know about this. Are there any processes in place to fix that water treatment plant?
Yes. So once that has been done, I will, you know very well that now my party is not in power. So once the treatment plant has a problem, I will liaise with the current GC to find out exactly what the problem is, and then get the community water to come and work on it. Because, like I said, the community water are those that did that project. And it's not just that. They also built another borehole on the Patrol Road, and they've been using it. So if the water system has run down, which I'm not aware of currently, because in this system that has been put in place, I'll find out from community water what it is. Because you know my job. My job is to advocate and make sure that the right thing is done. So while my attention is, I'm actually on the way to Bimbilla. That's why I told you that. So that's the first thing I'll find out. I'll go to the dam itself now.
Okay.
By 10 o'clock, I'll be in Bimbilla, or 10:30, I'll be in Bimbilla. I'll go to the dam myself, have a look at it, go to the communities, because there's a big seminar that I'm attending. I'll find out from the people. Once there is any problem, I'll try and make sure that it's fixed.
Interesting. Honorable, thank you so much for your time this morning. With the Bimbilla water issue, right, we know that community water deals with areas where the population is about 5,000 to 7,000, right, where Ghana Water Company comes in when the numbers are huge. Now, we know of the population boom in Bimbilla, where you're a member of parliament for. Would you not rather have Ghana Water Company take over the water distribution in the area so as to get more homes connected in terms of water delivery?
So when we were in power, there was Engineer Clifford, who was the managing director of the Ghana Water Company. Privately, I discussed with him, he agreed. Then we actually made an application. They came to assess it, and they took up steps to ensure that that is done. Currently, I don't know. Ever since there's a change of government, I really don't know whether this new administration has decided to follow suit. Because at the end of the day, every administration has its priority. But I know that we took it up. We did applications to the Bimbilla and Salaga. We took up the two together to make sure that Bimbilla Town and Salaga Town were being added to the Ghana Water Company. In fact, we were even going beyond that. We wanted the situation whereby we could actually pull water from the river at Makango, which is called the Water River, at the area, and pull it right through Salaga to Bimbilla and back to Pandai. And that project, I know that the feasibility studies was done, everything was also done on that particular project. That was a $200 million project. I know that for a fact. But at a point, because we entered into IMF, that project stalled. Like I said, I don't know whether the current government still have the same zeal that we had to push the town to not community water, but now to Ghana Water.
Interesting.
So, like I said, that process has started. And so, and you are right. I don't think that Bimbilla should remain with Ghana Water and community water.
Yeah.
It's much bigger than. It's an urban area now. It used to be a district. I got it elevated to municipality, and for that matter, we need to make sure that we can push it to Ghana Water. And I know, and I said, you can find out from the Ghana Water people that the process had started, but it's just that we couldn't complete it before we left office.
Interesting. Thank you for your time. But Honorable, before you take leave of us, right? We'll be following on, your work to try and get Ghana Water to, help with the situation. But there's a seeming crisis at hand, right? Because when you go to the Bimbilla SHS, students there are suffering. They are saying that, their education has to come to a halt because they don't have water to, use in their school. Is there any stopgap measure you'd be embarking on to address this concern?
Bimbilla SHS matter, it's a different kettle of fish. Even with the water, they still have a problem. In fact, I think 2 boreholes, but we couldn't get water. I'll check again to see whether that will be done. Like I said, I'm on the way to the constituency. I remember that, yes, we tried to do some boreholes to see whether we could get water, but it wasn't possible for us. They've had that problem for some time. We tried to see what we could do to fix it. And we wanted to get a reservoir in the area using the community water system, but it looks like it didn't materialize.
Okay.
But like you said, I'll follow up personally to ensure that problem is resolved for them. Because look, at the end, these are kids who may not necessarily be from the area. So their situation is a bit different because it's just the Bimbilla, the SSS, and then the training college. If we don't find out providing them water, we're just going to have problems with them. So I'll look at it and then try and see what we can do to resolve.
Interesting.
To resolve that matter. Yeah. Right now my fans are limited, not like before. So,
Why? Before your fans were a lot.
Remember that.
You're also defense minister. So are you saying that?
I'm coming. Remember, I was a defense minister.
Yes.
I could call any colleague of mine and say, something, my place has this problem, that problem, and then maybe the minister for water resources, Western Housing, will immediately try to see what he can do to resolve it.
Yeah.
Defense, maybe if there are some projects that the military, the engineers have, I can ask them, can you see in my area? I'm your minister, can you see how I can help my area? Like those kind of little favors.
Yeah.
That they will give you whilst you are in government. But those things obviously have dried up.
So because you're a defense minister now, it's difficult to get people to address some of these issues you are raising.
All I'm saying that those advantages have dried up. They are not there. They are non-existent. So it is not like, if I want to do, I still have to go to somebody and talk to that person and just hope that person would understand the point I am making. That the people need that. It's different from when you are in charge. Because that one, you make the decisions. So it's a different kettle of fish. But today, somebody else is the person making the decisions. And when you go to the person can decide, well, I will help or I will not help. It's always like that. But it's normal, Once the people of Ghana have decided that you should sit at the background and let somebody else also try his luck and see what the person can do, you can't argue. You just have to help the person, pray for the person, and see what the person can do for Mother Ghana. So that's where we are today.
Honorable, one final question before you take leave of us. We also know that your area is a cocoa growing area. You have cocoa farmers there. There's an ongoing, issue for farmers with regards to payment for them from government. As a minority member and as a representative in the cocoa growing area, are you concerned that your farmers have not been paid and we are being told this is causing some kind of hardship for them? What are your responses to this?
So first of all, I'm not going to speak as if I have farmers in the area who are benefiting from the current system where they are growing cocoa. 1 or 2 farmers are growing cocoa in a community called Jamfor in my constituency. And everybody is surprised that in the north, but yes, they did grow some cocoa in a community called Jamfor, and the cocoa has done very, very well. So over the next 1 or 2 years, my intention is to support that farmer and other farmers who will expand, and I believe that something good will come out of it. So that's a different kettle of fish. But now let's come. I'm a member of the Agri Committee in Parliament. And so I have some information. I just think it's very unfortunate, terribly unfortunate. Government has to resolve that problem very, very quickly. But I know that government is having difficulties because one, the strength of the cedi is giving the government problems. But once the cocoa prices have come down, worldwide market prices have come down, and the cedi is also gaining some bit of strength relative to the weakness of the dollar all over the world. The dollar is coming down all over the world. So currencies like Ghana, cedi, Nigerian naira, they are all becoming stronger and stronger. And so government is not able to get a lot of cedis as they would have been getting to give to the farmers. But more importantly, is the decision by government. Cocoa usually is sold by what we call forward sales. When you are a new government and you decide that you might get higher prices, so you no more do forward sales, and the prices fall, the hedging that this government did and refused to sell the cocoa is the problem that we're having today. So that decision alone has caused us a big problem. If they had sold cocoa at the price that we all had agreed last year, the 2025-2026 season, we don't have that problem. But because they said, just like gold was rising, they expected cocoa to rise, and they started not to sell. And that's where we are having the problem today. Government has to build cocoa board out. I expect the finance minister to build cocoa boards out. It is a promise made by government to the farmers.
Does government have the fiscal space to build, cocoa board and to support the farmers?
Look at the expenditure of this government on the things they should not spend on. All right? The sort of things they should not spend on and they are spending money on. I think that they have a lot of resources. It's about priorities. It's about you deciding that, I won't spend the money here, I want to spend on cocoa farming. I'm not spending on cocoa farming, they don't want to spend, that's all.
Not
because there's no money.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
If they are not spending on cocoa farmers, they've decided that is not the priority to them, full stop. But you say that there's no money, it's not true. I am in government, I'm a part of government because parliament is part of government. I know that there's money to do it. It's as simple as that.
Interesting. Thank you so much for your time. But before you take leave of us, as a former defense minister, there are issues around the name change for Kotoka. Estimatedly, it's reported that it would cost us about $6 million. You are a former defense minister. What's your position on this? Considering the airport is a security installation.
I'm waiting, first of all, for government to tell us what exactly is the reason why they want to change the name. When the government tells us the reason, for example, if the government were to say, because he did a coup, then in that case, all coup makers should not have anything named after them. Every coup maker, whether you succeeded or you didn't succeed, should not have anything named after you. And all the coup makers, beginning from Kotoka, who led the first coup, till the last person who didn't succeed. Jiwa was the last person, at least Jiwa was the last, Corporal Jiwa was the last person who didn't succeed in 83 or 84. All coup makers should not have anything named after them, if that is what we want to do as a country. And we all support that decision. If there is another reason why government is doing that, they should let us know. Because even the NDCs, I've told you, the NDCs themselves, that they themselves, even the NDCs came out of a coup, people who did coup. And so if you decide to say that you change every name, even the NDCs, they will have to look at their own name. But we haven't gotten there yet. I want to know exactly what the reason of government is. So it's not about the military. Kotoka, for example, the name that was given to the airport was not because he did a coup against Kwankuma. No, not at all. Kotoka was actually leading a group of people to stop a counter coup, to stop a coup. And he fell, and he fell there. That's why they named it after. It was because they were countering another coup, and then he fell there. That's why they gave that name.
We'll get to you in studio so we can talk more about these issues. But thank you so much for your time this morning, helping us through a conversation around the water crisis in Dangbe. We'll be following on that very keenly. The Assemblyman is also on, right?
Yes. Al-Hassan Adam Nuhu. Let's hear briefly from him. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning, madam.
I hope you're well.
We are managing.
Tell us about the water situation in your area.
Well, currently the water situation in Bimbila, particularly Dangbe, it's becoming unbecoming as we battle with so many issues with regard to the water. We are fortunate to be closer to the dam, which is the Wampu Dam. But our problem currently is we are now taking the water alongside with animals. So anytime at all, the animals are in it. So it is making it very difficult for us to use it.
Well, we spoke to the Member of Parliament for your area. He has given some assurances, and I'm sure you heard those assurances. Do they, what's the word? Are you assured that something will be done about the water crisis in Bimbilla?
So I wasn't all that privy to the information that he gave with regard to the assurance.
Okay.
Yeah. But what I know is the people of Dangbe and Barat Bimbilla are in serious crisis with regard to water issues. You know, that some of the ties that we have here will open once in a week. So, and Bimbilla for now is a very large place and the population there is very great. So, we are in a serious crisis actually. Because the Wampu Dam, as we speak today, when you fetch it and you yourself drinking it, you won't like it. But we are forced to take it. So, yeah.
All right. Well, your Member of Parliament has given assurances that he's working on these issues. And we understand that a philanthropist has also given you a borehole, the community a borehole to use. So in the interim, we will also follow up with the assurances given by the Member of Parliament for your area. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
So, okay.
All right.
All right, so you heard the Assembly member last Sunday, but interesting remarks also from the former Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwu.
Definitely.
Of course, the conversation was on water, but we also pushed him on some issues relating to cocoa. You know, people don't know that there are cocoa farmers in the north, right? So we pushed him on cocoa issues, and we also asked him around the whole Kotoka issue. So we'll take a break. When we are back, there's a lot more right here on Sunday Breakfast.
Watching DSTV means getting the TV you love, but staying connected means getting something extra. Stunning. Extra matches, extra dramas, the best local and the world's biggest. Extra laughter, music, movies, and extra vim. I love it. Just stay connected or reconnect and get upgraded to the next higher package at no extra cost. Charlie, we got you. Keep watching. Get more with DSTV.
Are you planning to relocate from your company office or house, whether across cities to another town or halfway around the country? You want a moving company you can depend on to get you there? Let me introduce you to Logistics Movers. We are here to help you every step of the way, from planning the move to unpacking the last box and settling into your office or home. We have the expertise, experience, and market understanding and offer fast, reliable, and professional transportation services in Ghana. Our main thrust is to successfully move your business, household items safely, on time, and hassle-free. You can call us on 0246 833 539 or 0244 342 465. You can also send us an email to info@logisticsmovers.com or check our website www.logisticsmovers.com. Why expose your company or household items to theft or damages when you are relocating if it's avoidable? Logistics Movers, we help you relocate.
What makes a man walk all the way from Takoradi to Accra? Not because he has to, but because he believes in the dream? This Sunday on the Upside Down Show, Frema Edunyame sits with Bra Kwame to uncover the passion, the struggles, and the powerful story behind this extraordinary journey.
But so one day you just got up and you decided to walk from Takoradi to Accra.
As in,
it's something I didn't plan to do.
Okay.
Yes.
So you do things by heart?
It came by chance. You have to grab the opportunity. I was feeling so tired. I was like,
how were you looking? Because you've been walking.
So wretched, looking dirty. Like, if you should see me along the way, and
to set the mood, Elsifer Wright brings us soothing, soul-touching sounds you will absolutely love.
I don't know what you did to my mental state. You took me high and brought me low. I give you everything I knew.
Make a date with us this Sunday at exactly 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast right here on Channel 1 TV. I'm Jude Duncan and Osafo here with me. It's now time for a very important conversation on digital boundaries and a term I'm hearing for the first time, comparisonitis. I hope I got it right. I don't know. I guess to give us all the lowdown. But Dr. Annie Gazy, who is a clinical hypnotherapist and an addictive behavior specialist. Amazing. Doc, welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning.
Your new home. Yeah.
I know.
Amazing. How have you been?
Not bad at all. It's been a good month so far, so thanks for asking.
We are grateful to God.
Yeah.
I like your dress, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice.
I'm trying, thank you. I'm trying to be very, very, very local and traditional. So
love it.
Now, I know it's just the
yesterday we had our own
Oh, did you? I missed that.
We had our own fugu party in the studio.
I have to have one of those fugu.
Doug, I was going to start with the digital, but let's start with comparisonitis, because it sounds like a very catchy word.
Know. It's like this glam word, right? Okay, if we just break it down, because it's a mouthful, isn't it? Comparisonitis. Comparisons, comparing, which is a common word that we all know about, comparing. And for years and years, we all know that the human nature, we are very territorial. We like to compare. We like things to be a certain way. But the past 2 decades, when social media and everything became big, now it's becoming addictive. Or should I say becoming, or it is addictive. And we're comparing more. We're comparing ourselves. We're comparing our achievements. We're comparing our jobs. We're comparing our likes and comments on Facebook. So I'm just going to start a fight with you and Jude this morning, right? Is that okay? To answer your question.
That is fine.
So let's say you're both doing the same, I'll say the same role with the host of this morning show. But then maybe Eno will just go and think, we're doing the same job. How come I put the same post there and he has got like 500 likes and I've got 200? This is not fair. So you keep going back and forth, checking why. Why? Well, let me look at my dress. Let me look at my face. I look prettier than him. What is going on here? And then maybe Jude will also think, whoa, I'm really doing well now. Look, I was with Eno at the same time. But look at my likes, look at hers. Oh, then you start comparing the comments. Oh, maybe I didn't get lots of likes, but at least my comments are nice. They're saying I'm pretty, my makeup is good. I look short, I look tall, I look this, I look that. Then he would also. So that's that. So even though you're comparing, normally what comparing is supposed to do is to motivate us, encourage us. Where am I now? Or maybe my colleague or my friends or whatever, they're doing so well. Maybe that would push me, that would motivate me. But now it's turned into this ugly thing where we're comparing and we're damaging ourselves. That's where the mental health comes in. Right. So we get anxious about the fact that I posted that 24 hours ago and I've only got 3 likes. Oh, why? Or why did that person insult me? And you can see now, with lots of issues going on in our country, people are taking to social media to insult, to really bash, to really. The fight is not even physical anymore.
No,
or meeting the person.
On social media.
It's on social media. If I want to fight you, all I have to do is to get into your account and start misbehaving, or into my account and start saying people should tag you in and all that, just for you to know. So that's where it's become a thing with the itis. You know, it's becoming a disorder. And you know, even though it's not medically there, but it's a psychological and social thing at the moment.
So what do we mean also by digital boundaries?
Digital boundaries is a bit about what I was just saying about what are we doing about this social media thing, that even if our president offend us or our boss offend us, we take them to social media, and that is where we really fight. That is where we really get them, and we know that by going there we really do get them, because we invite everybody into it. And something that maybe I could have gone to my colleague or come to you and say, oh, Eno, you know what, yesterday what you did was so wrong. You know, looking at your behavior, should I say attacking your behavior, or being proactive, and also coming to you and then discussing it. Instead of doing that, I'll go to my bed in the night and say, I can't believe that Eno or that woman on the morning show did this to me, and look at what has happened. It's interesting I'm saying this because once upon a time something like this happened to me at a workplace, not to me, but I found it very uncomfortable because somebody was underperforming in her role. And their manager was actually put them through a review and all of that, and managing what, you know, the situation.
Right.
The next thing is they went on LinkedIn and then put all of that there and asking people, so what should I do about this? How should I treat this person? What should I do about my boss? So people kept on commenting until the boss, somebody actually took a caption of it, you know, like photo, whatever, and then sent it. And then I was in a meeting and we had to discuss that look at how far things have gone, which is very ugly if you think that. So that's the digital bit, that now instead of coming to people, and I had somebody had booked that they were going on leave, then they were off sick. Then the next thing, the manager was going on their Facebook and all that and said, look at this. I've seen this guy in Kenya on holiday. I mean, do you have to go that far? I find it uncomfortable, but maybe that's just me. But I think it's become a thing that, and it causes anxiety, because then that becomes a management thing at work, that your private life is coming into your professional life, you know. And for me, I see that as very dangerous. Not for me, generally, psychologically and everything, it's wrong. Where does the boundaries come in? Where do we draw the line that I finished work at 5? Why are you still following me? I found something very horrifying quite recently when I didn't know about WhatsApp status. I know you two are gonna laugh, right? I didn't know about that. So it was my sister, I hope she's watching me, that introduced me to it, and it took me forever to be able to do it. So when I started doing it, and then I noticed something very strange. Somebody, a superior of mine, I realized that every time I went to check, they were the first who had gone in to check on my status. So I started putting something funny that would make them say something or whatever. Then I realized that in meetings and that they will talk about it. I said, wow, these are some of the things. So you see, that's where the boundaries is. You know, you're my boss. Why are you coming into my private life? Because I deliberately say these things there just to see who would comment. But then this person would pass a comment or something in a meeting, and I thought, it is true, it is you. So it's really you coming there. So I had to block the person. But what if you don't know? What if you don't know who is doing that? What if this jealousy, enviness, competitive life comparisons gets out of hand to the extent that you end up even damaging yourself? Because I'm so into, I need to get what Eno has got. She's got like 50K people following her. I don't get this. I'm smarter than her. I'm prettier than her. I'm this and that. This is a hypothetical. Don't take it personal. Oh, why is, Jude doing ABC? But what we don't know is maybe Jude or Eno, you're actually maybe spending all night working on your social media, working on your career, doing other things behind the scenes that we don't see. So if I don't think that deep into the fact that you're investing so much into yourself, that is where you are. And all I see is what is on social media, the shoes you're wearing or the bag or the people, the personalities that you are with. Then I'm so jealous. What tends to happen is I'm hurting myself because maybe I'm not investing that much. Come 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I'm in bed or I'm partying and all that. but I'm not investing. Am I making sense?
Yes, you are. So what happens psychologically when you keep comparing yourselves to someone on social media who you probably don't even know, or even if you do know the person?
Yeah.
I mean, to what end?
What tends to happen is the initial stage will be you having sleepless night because I'm monitoring you. So definitely, I'm monitoring you. So that alone is stressful. So number one is you're causing yourself stress and sleep deprivation. Then the anxiety sets in. So come tomorrow or next week. Eno and Jude. How is their Facebook going to look like? How is their Instagram going to look like? What photo? Who are they going to interview next? Is it going to be bigger than who I've interviewed so far? So the anxiety sets in. Then you're not sleeping. So instead of me focusing on how I can progress, I'm so busy focusing on you two that I'm not doing much for myself.
Right.
So what tends to happen is maybe depression will set in because I'm so busy monitoring you that maybe I'm still on 1,000 followers. I'm just saying, and you two are on 50 or 100,000. But I'm so busy. What can I do to stop them or to reduce them or whatever that I'm not working on what I need to work on? So I get into depression. Then I can't focus on my work because I'm so bitter about your progress that I'm not doing much. So then that's where the mental health starts. Then it affects your work because you're so jealous of how maybe how we have the same manager, line manager or producer. And it's like, oh, I didn't like the way my producer spoke to me today. But did you see, she was really nice to Eno this morning. How come she wasn't nice to me? So you start picking every little thing that don't matter. And maybe the producer just came, did what they had to do and they've gone home. And they're not even thinking about you or whatever. They've moved on. But because you're so bitter, you start looking at every little detail, like crossing every T, every I, whatever, and it affects you. And that is where the mental health start developing and it gets worse. And if, I know when I come here, I talk about the brain a lot. And I like highlighting two, the most common ones, which is the reward, which is the dopamine. So the more you do that, you're not rewarding yourself. You're not telling yourself you're good enough. Because when you're so busy thinking that I'm not good or others are good or I'm too good and others are not good, there is no reward in that. So that becomes a problem for your brain. And also when you're not happy, we're talking about the happy brain also not functioning properly. That's the serotonin not working properly. And so happiness is gone, everything is gone. Then you sink into a bubble that you shouldn't.
What do you have to say to some people who feel like they do that to spur them on? Right, they love the healthy competition it comes with. So, for example, I wake up in the morning, I check what some Jack Taper, right? So it's like, or I check what somebody has posted in my same field, to also just give me that edge to be competitive. What's your response to that?
I like what you've asked because the thing is that we are all what do we call ourselves, social animals or something. It's important to have that. That's why I always encourage people to have a role model. It could be a blind role model, somebody that doesn't even know that they're your role model, somebody you look up to in our careers. Somebody's done it before. What we are all doing here today, somebody's already done it, and there are people who've done it better. And I've got track record, and we know, like you're saying, and they've been in the industry for so long. Absolutely. And they are so. It's good to look up to somebody. It's good to compare as well and say, oh, maybe another television station or whatever, how they do it, how maybe even their setting and everything. Because as we move on in life, we're learning from psychology about the colors in a room, how they can even draw a crowd, the seating, the way you sit, the way you talk to people, your tone, everything. We're learning every day. So it's very important for you to also learn that. But it's where they say, a lay person will say, it's too much of everything is bad. You have to be mindful that, why am I doing this? I'm doing it because I'm learning. I'm doing it because I want to do it better. Because I want to better myself, because I want to get somewhere with my life. But it becomes a problem when that habit turns to something ugly, where now you start tearing the person down. Like, oh, look at their shoes, look at their bag. Oh, I saw that dress last week and they're still wearing it today. So in that, Jude, what are you learning from really trying to pick on somebody and bring them down and tear whatever they're doing? Or look at that station. It's so dark, it's so gloomy. Even if you say it's dark, that could be a positive dark. So you're seeing that darkness is not causing attraction for you or for viewers. So on my show, I'll make sure that there is light so that others can see, because you're learning from other people's mistakes, things that are not so good. But when you're not learning and you're actually making it into something really unpleasant, just because you, like I use the example, let's say this bottle of water, oh my God, I don't like the size, I don't like this, I don't like that. Okay, if you feel that this size is too big, what can you do about it that can improve? Because I like the little mini ones, because when my guests come, I give them that. Sometimes this bottle is just what I said, yeah, because you won't waste it for me. And people would just say, oh, you know, like British people are stingy and all that. I said, that's not the point. It's to do with the fact that sometimes you give this bottle, somebody will sip twice and just leave it and throw it away. But if I give you the little bottle and you want more, you can ask for more. I have more to give you. So it's about this bottle. I have realized that it's excellent. I'm not condemning it, but then if I give it to my guests because they're going to waste it, I'll buy smaller bottles so that at least, so I'm learning from that. So everything is about looking at what is the positive in, okay, my friend, he only came on Facebook or TikTok yesterday and they've got like 100 followers already. How did they do that? What is their content? What exactly are they saying? Or what are they doing? Maybe I can contact them, maybe not. But let me just study what they do. Maybe they are there every day or every other day, or maybe their tone, the colors they are using, maybe whatever is sharp, so I have to do that. Why do I like Channel One? Because of how they speak, because of how they behave, because of professionalism. So you learn instead of looking at tearing it down. And that is what most times cause the problem, because bitterness and it becomes addictive, basically.
Why do the holidays, or well, now we're coming to the month of love, why do these events and occasions tend to intensify this kind of situation?
It does, especially February is the highest because it's the love month. That is, well done, that is the highest. So we're in the highest comparison time where people develop that more, or it highlights that actually I do have a problem, or people have a problem, because society highlights things and it's always Valentine's, so I've just posted this with love heart or whatever. Who's going to comment on this? How many people are going to show that they love me? And people also stir it up by really saying that, oh, you know what, everybody likes me, and you know, people stand at places where you know they can't even afford just to take photos, just to show off. So we get into it. And even subconsciously, you just go on your phone and say, oh, okay. You wouldn't say anything, but in your head, you're thinking, I can take a better picture than this. I can do this. I can get more likes. I can get all of that. I know people who thrive on that. And sometimes I don't say anything to them, but I just nod my head and say, at your age, why are you so much into likes and comments? You know, for me, it's about the message being out there. And several times have I tried on my social media to actually take, you know, where you can like, and but I'm not very good with technology, because I just want an information out there. And as long as somebody is reading or seeing, I'm happy.
You're happy.
But for some people, it's about, oh my God, it's about
comments.
likes. Oh, those people didn't like it. And for a month like this, it goes to show that to them, to most people, oh my God, that person is so popular. Oh, people really like that person. This person is doing so well and all that. As a professional, things like that help you to see out there whether the message you're giving, like the two of you, is out there and people are watching, people are listening, and that. So that's brilliant. But when an individual starts really getting into it and it's getting out of hand. So February is the highlight. Let's watch. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's been doing it. It'll be good to just hear somebody who's been out there doing it. We do it without realizing, but actually it's an addiction. So you've got your specialist sitting here telling you that you are addicted to your likes and your comments.
And it's so true, right? If you see the growing trend of what has come to be known as Instagram models and influencers who sometimes create a false sense of narrative, right? So for example, they'll post a video of a boyfriend who is not seen, you know, who has bought, for example, wigs, or has bought a plane for them, right? And it creates some kind of pressure.
It does.
On younger, you know.
It does.
So it's important you're talking about this. How do we is the responsibility solely on yourself, or there's a role society plays, right? And even to an extent, policy handlers, right? You have the NCC. Are they mandated to, let's say, push a narrative about the values that we ought to carry, so as we are not really pressured into some of these things, especially for young people?
Definitely, 100%. And what you said about the youth as well, because it's right. Somebody will post a private jet, and because of that, people are just refusing to do the daily job that we do.
Exactly.
That get up in the morning, go to work, and that they think that quick, fast money, that it doesn't matter what. Hence, in some parts of our countries or our continent, there's so much kidnapping and this, that,
Scam and all of that.
Scam and all of that, because I've seen somebody that I went to school with that I was smarter than now has got this big house and this and that. Why am I working, doing all these jobs, and I can't even afford anything? So it's all of our duties, plus the bodies, you know, who have been assigned to. And I think it's education in schools, institutions as well. And one thing that I've noticed about our community, should I say our Ghanaian community a lot, is the other day I was even telling my boy at home that when you are cleaning and that, can you not bring your phone because it's annoying me? We have the phone all the time. We don't know where to draw the line that I'm actually at work. I'm actually doing a piece of whatever, or I'm in school. It's like, we need to be able to say to people, when you're doing this, unless it's an emergency, can you not touch your phone? Can you live without it? Can you let your family know that if it's not emergency, I'm not going to answer the call for the next 3 hours or 4 hours because you've got your lunch break, you've got this, you've got that. Because it gets so irritating, it gets so annoying. And that is where you see these things, because if you're on all the time, you're tempted to feel that, look at me sitting here with my boss telling me to do all of this, and look at this person, you know, having a good time somewhere, you know, on a boat or a yacht or whatever it is.
Supposedly unemployed as well.
Thank you. You know, I saw, it's funny, and may that person forgive me if they're watching or whatever. There's somebody that I knew years ago, and they were using drugs, and I was supporting them. And eventually they stopped. But I knew that they had never been to university. I knew that they had been unemployed for a while. I knew that they lost everything, their home and everything, because of that. Then they actually decided to request friendship on Facebook. So I looked at it. So I said, let me look at their profile. I was shocked that the universities and the qualifications and experience that they had put there. I just opened my mouth. I said, what is going on here? You are not who you say you are. And that really annoyed me, because there was a time that they actually got a girlfriend through that. You know, and
there's so many stories to share. I mean, I even have personal ones. Like, there's a mega church in Ghana where, you know, all of these things are playing out in real time, right?
Yeah.
Some of them became public, some of them under the carpet. So I think we should continue the conversation. You know, unfortunately, time is not on our side.
That's fine.
But there's so much we need to talk about.
Yeah.
It should be like a whole series, right? Probably get some sponsors on to push this, because not everything you see is real. There's a lot of superficiality.
Lots.
Doc,
and it's damaging our society.
Yeah, we are grateful for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the work that you do. You know that it's a sacrifice.
Thank you very much for having me.
To take a quick break, there's sports coming up shortly. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Meet my lovely family.
I mean, we can do that whilst I'm seated and eating. Let me put on the food before we eat.
He will be here for days, and I only find out at a family dinner on the day that he arrives.
Morning, family.
Everything in my kitchen is actually gone.
You know, in the UK, I work like a donkey, but here, I eat like a monkey.
My noodles just vanished like a spirit had branch.
He finished my slightly burnt oil rice.
Half a crate of eggs cannot just poof, disappear.
Good morning,
Lesa, have you by any chance gone to the kitchen?
Madam, unless the kitchen walks to me my sleep, we are there in the kitchen.
If I die, won't you serve food at my funeral?
Heaven's
save us. Now what's that?
Bestie.
Away, Dad. I'm sure he's gone.
Good morning. I thought you were gone.
The Blanksing family is here. The vibe is too much.
We are gearing up for the trip of a lifetime. Heritage Caravan 2026. From 1st to 8th March 2026, 8 days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We're touring Ghana in the most spectacular way on the Heritage Caravan, exploring the beauty, history, and stories that make our nation unique. Rolling out from Greater Accra through Eastern and OT, up north to the Northern and Upper East, and all the way to the Western region, hitting iconic destinations across Ghana. The Heritage Caravan 2026 will be fun, educative, refreshing, and most of all, remarkable. Stay connected. Follow Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM across all social media platforms for updates and join the conversation using the hashtag Heritage Caravan 2026. The Heritage Caravan 2026 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from City FM.
And it's proudly sponsored by Holland Insurance, Piva Beverages, Omni Basic Bank, Caveman Watches, Gino, Gigi Shito, Goyle, Minimi Achumo, and Admi Granite Paste. And it's supported by Nanas Rice.
Heritage Caravan 2026, experience Ghana like never before.
Welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast. It's now time for sports. Bernard Abe-Kuotri joins us. Bernard, how's it going?
It's been calm.
It's been calm, man. Amazing. Yesterday was an interesting, Premier League week.
Yeah.
Wins for Chelsea, Arsenal, United. Let's start with your team.
Manchester United.
Yeah. Is it a fluke or Carrick-Means business?
Remind me, I just want to use a few seconds to talk about our princesses. They'll be at the Accra Sports Stadium today. We want people to go there and support them. Women's football, you don't have to pay to get into the space. And it's important that we rally huge, massive support. These are under 20 girls who want to make it into a World Cup. We're playing against South Africa. It's 3:30, so let's go and support them.
Important.
Come to that. Them, so that's great. Now to Manchester United. It's strange what's happening, isn't it? Because see, I don't want to be carried away. I don't want to be carried away, first off. But I'm seeing signs. This team, I hate a team play where a footballer keeps 2 or 3 touches before giving a pass. I don't like it, personally. So I see United now playing in a way where it's just one touch football. You see, when you are playing game on a console, and the way you give the passes, like you are scared to lose the ball to the opponent, so you just keep shifting, passes around, and that's what United seem to be doing. They did against Arsenal, they did against Manchester City, they done against Spurs, they did against Fulham as well, and that's 4 in 4. For
Michael Carrick.
For Michael Carrick, I should say. My only worry is, I want to see the United fan shave.
Oh, yeah.
His hair is being in motion for a minute, and the thing is growing, and we are not finding his face.
So, viewers, there's a guy on social media.
Great, explain it for them.
Who is on
who's a United fan?
A United fan, and he said he's not going to shave until United wins 5 games in a row. It started when Ten Hag was the coach. So you can imagine, how bushy.
And after Ten Hag, there's been Amorim recall. And now there's an interim. So it's the interim who is giving him the access to want to go and shave. So the next game is against West Ham United, and that's the most instrumental. But look, for yesterday, I think United played something solid. That's against Spurs. They knew that Romero is a hard tackler on the ball, so they pushed him to commit certain fouls that would take him out of the game. I feel that's brilliant from the manager as well. And then kept playing and controlling the game, both in their own half. Even when the team is under pressure, they know how to soak that pressure in their own area and then try and advance. United usually go for the long balls and allow players to run at it during the Wayne Rooney era when there's Van Persie who also came through the chain and all of that. But now it's about working the ball out first before looking for that direct runner to get into critical areas and bank, kick the ball into the net. So I feel United has been solid. Consistency in football means that there's something happening. So I feel United has been consistent, and I feel it's the manager's handwriting. He's gotten brilliant players in Mbeumo, in Ahmad, in Cunha, in Bruno Fernandes, and he's resurrected Kobbie Mainoo's career as well in that defensive fold. And for Casemiro, we all know he's a 5-time Champions League winner. He shows that with great experience in the game. So for me, I think it's been excellent from Carrick, and it's becoming something that is here to stay. So when managerial bounce get into about 3 or 4 games, and then you see the leak or how shaky the team is. But I feel there's a bit of composure and things seem to be working for United.
We'll go to other games, but very briefly, talk to me about that midfield, right? Kobbie Mainoo was an outcast under Amorim. Ahmad was struggling to get into the team, right? But for some reason, Carrick has reinvented the wheel. He's also brought on board players Amorim brought, right? So it's not even like just. There's also some credit for Amorim, right? Because he bought Mbeumo, he bought Cunha, he brought Dogu, and these are the names, creating the magic for United. So, is the credit all to Carrick, or Amorim deserves?
No. Credit first off to Amorim. He instilled something into this squad. He brought a bit of discipline into the setup. We know the nature or the behavior of Garnacho wearing other team's jersey whilst he's still on contract to United, which is a no-no, and showing it to the public. I mean, if it was behind closed doors and he's just doing his home and mistakenly getting into the space where somebody's toy or something, then that's fine. But Rashford not coming to training early and all of that, Malacia not finding his rhythm training properly, and he found a way to take these guys who he felt, even though they were young and they had something to do for this football club, he felt that the behavior was not right in the group, so getting them out was important. So he found that, and then he did it perfectly to get these guys out of the setup. And then it brought a sense of energy back. Then his recruitment. Cunha Renew was one of the finest players in the space. He brought him up into the setup. He brought, Mbeumo as well. Ahmad was already the excelling player. He found, even at a point, one of the coaches thought that Ahmad was not ready. But it took a certain manager's belief to discover how good that talent still is. And then Kobbie Mainoo as well was also in that chain. The coach wanted him to push himself, and I feel behind closed doors, Kobbie was pushing himself and wanting to prove a point with an opportunity. So when the opportunity presented itself, he was able to utilize that to the max. But of course, he's also playing alongside a great midfielder, one with a lot of experience, and he was able to do that. And I mean, that's why we see Mainoo excelling.
Amazing. There were also wins for Chelsea, Cole Palmer hat-trick, but most importantly, Arsenal beat Sunderland, who they failed to beat in the reverse fixture. Is the league wrapped up?
Oh, we cannot say the league is wrapped up. Arsenal is much more concentrated from the last meeting they had to want to stay focused, especially in the month of February. It is where they seem to lose a lot of points because then mentally the players are drained and they're unable to keep that high level performances. And the coach highlighted that in that meeting, and it has had a thing to do with them because now it's not about we lacking players. There's a right players. You get right subs in there. One of the beautiful things I saw in their last game was during a warm up, Saka, had a bit of pain, and he felt he wouldn't be able to play from the medical department. They also felt they should protect him, and then they asked Eze to go in and no, it's not Eze, it's a former Chelsea player, what's his name, Madueke, right? To go in and do the exploit, and he played fantastically, and all the goals came from his area. So I feel they've got direct replacement in the setup, and they are on that trajectory where Arsenal is becoming a force to reckon with, because mentally they are ready and they seem to be there. I mean, it's still that gap in the league, even though when City closes it up to 4, it's a bit shaky. They're a bit shaky.
Like
and
today
all of
they'll
that,
be watching the Liverpool City game to ensure that Liverpool scores so that they'll remain on top of the table.
Yeah, the two teams have all, you talk about the Liverpool game, which will be happening later today. The two teams have all won 3 in their last 5, lost 1 and drawn 1. But one team is scoring more goals than the other. Even though Haaland, again, is in the top scoring chart with about 20 goals. But Liverpool seem to be scoring more, than Manchester City as a stunt. And I blame that on both sides in their defensive organization. Even though Liverpool's defense have been jerky a little, they've got experience in Konate and Van Dijk. There's Kekes in there who's also wanting to prove his mettle and all of that. But for at the other end, I feel City is struggling. Is a bit of the junior guys trying to fix senior boys into the area who don't really play there, and all of those math is not really sitting well with the players. So they're now beginning to learn. City is like, they are really pushing to perform, but it's a new generation Pep is trying to create to play like the Kevin De Bruyne's and Cole's era. So it's going to take a bit of time for City to get there. But this is one of the fixtures that City will come in and not pretend, but show that they are one of the guys to really contend.
Thank you so much for your time, Bernard Abeku. I'm grateful for your insights and your very deep analysis on the games. I mean, we'll be back next week 100%. To follow through.
There's a quick birthday message from our very own Theo with the technical department. He's saying, happy birthday, Gladys Ahin. Wishing you a day filled with fun and fantastic vibes. May your year ahead be epic. May be filled with laughter, adventures, and memories to cherish forever.
Charlie, Gladys Ahin.
Happy birthday.
Gladys Ahin.
Happy birthday.
Oh, Charlie, you be major. You be big one. Gladys, have a fantastic birthday to you. I know you have fun on the show.
I did.
I also did. Right? That's all time allows for. Take care and be good. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Adoration on Channel 1 TV. This is the only show on TV that allows you to draw closer to God through worship and the Word. On Adoration, you can expect this one thing, that we're going to bring you stirring music that uplifts your faith, dynamic guest interviews with worship leaders from across the country, the globe even. So as we bring you worship today, just stay tuned, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break, and I'll introduce to you who's leading us in worship today. My name is Edna Bright Davis. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Adoration on Channel 1 TV. Now, today we're going to have spirit-filled worship led by a group whose name is synonymous with worship. We have here, leading us in worship for the first time on Adoration, Pastor Yao Inchidazi and the Harvest Gospel Choir.
Thank you. Thank you.
We are so excited to have you on Adoration. Pastor Yao, how are you?
God's grace, I'm fine.
Well, I mean, the only time I'm this close to you on stage is when? Never, actually. I just see you doing, harvest praise and all that, just leading worship from a distance. So it's great to have you on Adoration.
When I'm not in your office.
Well, we're excited to have you today. Are you ready for us?
Yes, we are.
What should we expect this morning?
Well, we are just expecting that we'll lead you into the throne room of grace and that you will partake of the blessings of the Lord before you leave. Yes.
Amen. Let's worship.
Thank you. We want to praise the name of the Lord. We know you know the song, but just join us as we sing it. Oh, Mema, always on time. You can't do no wrong, oh, Mema. You leave the 99, always for the one. Come on, are you ready, choir?